about a specific topic, not realizing that most people listening will fail to understand it. That's a Geek Out. This is the show, The Geek Out Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Gil. I'm the main host of the Geek Out Show, and we're a weekly podcast that cover a different array of geeky topics. We cover everything from comics, manga, collectible, TV, movies, gaming, and a bunch of other things. Hopefully one of these interested you and you subscribe to our feed. Till next time, make sure to stay geeked up and geek out.
Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. We are coming to you guys. We are recording this on a holiday, but it will not be released on the same said holiday. But how was your holiday, Didge?
It was good. Got time to spend time with the family. That's always nice. It's pretty warm here, so tried to stay cool as best as I could be, but it was good.
Joel, I love how Didge says it was pretty hot there. Like, we don't live in fucking New Jersey. Like, it doesn't become slave hot out in this motherfucker out here. Our 79 sometimes be like, bitch, get in the house. Like,
same. I mean, that's the same here in Wisconsin. So that humidity will have you dying.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Joel, outside of the fact that I know for a fact, I don't even have to ask, so don't even worry. I know you saved me a plate, but how was your holiday?
It's perfectly great. It was, I haven't done so little in my life in so long.
That's always the best.
So I really got to do a lot of nothing, which is awesome.
Oh my God. Yo, can I just say we're all at that age where that statement is like the crowning achievement of a day for us, right? Like, you know how like people younger than us is like, I can never just sit and do nothing. I gotta go out. We are like the crowning achievement of my day was that I had to do so little.
It's always so great. Like when you can just sit back and just be like,
feeling.
oh, I am chilling today.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was a great feeling.
Look, there's no better feeling than to look in my neighborhood and see all the kids cutting grass, right? And then it's just like, I'm not cutting my grass. I hired someone to do that. Are you fucking serious? Like, there's just nothing better than to look outside and go, man, my grass is getting high.
Yeah,
I
don't cut grass on holidays. I'm like, I'll save that for an actual work day. I'd rather work double than work on a holiday.
That is absolutely true. All right, so we're welcoming in Didge for the first time, joining Much to Do About Nothing. We're glad to have you, Didge. Didge was actually looking forward to hearing your thoughts, Joel, on Kenobi, because we missed out on hearing your thoughts when we broke it down Friday.
Yeah, Friday, I was busy. I've been with the family, so it's like we're all doing shit Friday, Saturdays. Today was probably my biggest lazy day. So, well, yes, they were lazy, but still people came. And last minute, like I was like you just called me. I had to delay because I was watching the dog for a half hour, but I don't consider that much.
Yeah, it's not much.
Dog's not much to take care of.
No.
But it's every time I get a chance to spend time with a puppy, I do it.
Oh, it's good.
Even though that dog is not a puppy anymore, but it's fucking, I still call him puppy. Her, it's a girl. But Obi-Wan, fuck, it was awesome. From the get. It's just it gave me I don't want to say it gave me the same vibes because it was definitely not as violent, but I do like the whole old man Logan-esque feel of certain show like that, like because it's that on his last legs, he's kind of given up on life almost, not life, but like, I'm not a Jedi. I'm trying to hide it. I know I'm probably one of the more popular Jedi ever, and I'm going to pretend like I don't know you if I've seen you before. Like walking up, like, I know who you are. I don't know who you're lying to. He's like, I'm Ben. I'm like,
I don't know what you're referring to. It's like, I know you. You're Kenobi. I don't know who this Kenobi is, but you should lower your tone.
Ken Obi? Like, no.
Yeah,
no.
What's that?
Old Ben.
Yeah.
He's my cousin.
Yeah.
You guys look
Could-
so similar.
Kenobi definitely gave him one of those like, all right, I fucking heard you the first time. Lower your voice. Fuck.
Right.
Okay. Like shut up.
Cool.
He kept saying it like, no, you're Kenobi. Shut up. Like, stop saying my name. I heard you.
You're
Like,
radiating. You're gonna sense you soon. Chill. It's true though. Like, relax, man. You're gonna get me and yourself killed. He eventually gets himself killed. But like, man. But I do love that whole like 10 years, bro. It's been 10 years since that moment. And it's like, and he lives with it. It's a nightmare. He believes he's killed his, like his little brother. I mean, he loved that guy, raised that guy,
Mm-hmm.
So it hurts, and he lives with it every day. And it's like, and then, at the end of the day, you're like, you got to pull me out of retirement to save this little girl. And I'm like, I want to help, but I've been doing such a good job.
Right.
He did not want to help.
He did not.
To be fair, he did not want to help.
He didn't want to help, but that's because he's done a really good job of staying under the radar. So that's gonna give me. He's been very selfish at this point. I got one thing to worry about. That I gotta make sure the boy lives and is trained if the time comes. But I'm trying not to. I'm keep very low profile. I do my 9 to 5. And I cut a piece of meat for myself because it's tough living in a cave, But good for him, because that seems like a pretty cool cave to live in. Like good lighting,
dope ass cave. Yeah,
I wonder.
It was spacious,
It looks very spacious. Yeah. So good for him. I mean, and he dug his lightsabers away, as we expect. But then of course we got to see what's the name of the where Leia lives on Organa.
Oh, fuck, Alderaan.
Yeah, I got probably the best we've seen of Alderaan. We get a little bit of.
I mean, I saw it really well as it disintegrated into pieces. I got to see.
you got to see all parts
I got to
of the
see
planet.
all little bit of the pieces of Alderaan.
It was only the first time we see Alderaan is obviously as an example being made. Like this is what happens when you fuck with me.
You know what it really was, and now I'm glad we get to see this bigger picture. Leia was probably just like, yeah, my dad lives there. My dad's the best. And Vader was just like, oh, you think that's your dad? Okay, watch this. All gone. You just got me now. Like,
no, that's your dad? Dead.
Gone.
He pressed the button, looked at her, and said, "Who's your daddy now?"
Yeah, who's your daddy now? Y'all some fucking ungrateful children, man. I swear to God. Like, I had to cut a hand off of one. I had to blow up a home of the other. Y'all are stressing me.
But I love seeing little Leia. A lot of throwbacks to her, very similar to Padme. I love that. I love her little droid, whatever the fuck she called it. But I like the look like a butterfly, not a butterfly, ladybug. Like a ladybug. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. Interesting. It was just there was a lot of cool moments, and we get to go. What city? What planet was that where they went to go?
I was hoping you didn't ask me that. I forgot.
I forgot. I'm gonna look it. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
No, definitely not Coruscant. Definitely not.
But it's a similar city vibe to Coruscant, right? So it's like there's like dredges.
Similar, yeah. Similar.
It's a slum. They go to the slums. There's a whole bunch of dirty dealings going on there, and then you got fucking what's his name?
Ewan McGregor's real daughter selling him cocaine. I thought that was awesome.
That was wild. The planet's called Dayu, by the way.
Dayu, got you. Okay.
Dayu.
I would not have remembered that. I'm glad I'll forget that again by next episode.
Didn't even know that was a thing. Dayu. But yeah, one of those like urban planets.
Right.
Who else?
That's where all the black Star Wars characters lived.
Yeah,
it's just not one planet.
The ghettos of Star Wars are in Dayu.
That's the Atlanta, Georgia of Star Wars. That's
It's like Vegas. Like, oh shit.
That's what Mace Windu's been hiding out at.
Oh man.
What the hell's his name? My God, Kumail Nanjiani, or his character, whatever his character was. That was pretty interesting. He's a fake Jedi. I love that whole ruse.
Haja.
Yeah, I loved his whole thing that he was trying to pull off there, and then we called him out on it. Like, you're full of shit. I know what a Jedi. I am a Jedi. I'm not gonna say that, but I know what
I know exactly what one looks like. Yeah, you're not one.
I thought that was interesting. I love the fucking Inquisitors. I didn't even get to them yet, but badass live action. A little weird considering coming from like Rebels, what they look like there, what they look like in live action, a little different, but in spirit they're the same characters. And now I get to finally see who the third sister is, because like for the longest time, like that was missing. Now we know third sister was Reva.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we only had the second sister.
Right, yeah.
Trilla.
And then she goes and does what she does towards the end of that second episode, and you're like, well, he does die, so that's not gonna end well for her. So I'm like, well, so I wonder how that's gonna play out between her and the rest of the Inquisitors. Obviously, they've been having beef with her anyway because she doesn't seem to listen. I see a lot of people saying that she might be one of the Jedi, the younglings from the first.
No, she is.
The flashback.
Yeah, she is. I think that was the whole reason
that was the point
behind it. Yeah,
that's why it starts with her with that little.
Yeah, that's
right.
It would be weird if it wasn't.
Right.
Because that scene had no other. It had no other point.
Unless they just wanted to show, like, man, this is how much hell Order 66 was.
Yeah,
unless that was it.
We always get her a little bit of a reminder, like, kids were slain during that, man.
Right. In case you forgot, kids did die.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Whole bunches of them.
Don't forget, Vader is a child killer, man.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day.
I was saying, Joel, I thought maybe her obsession with Obi-Wan is, picture if you're a youngling, right? And there was no master to help escort them out. So you're trying to escape, and you look over, you see Yoda go one way with literally nobody else. You see Kenobi go the other way. And you're just like, hey, y'all gonna come try to help us? Like, anybody gonna try to see if there's anybody left? No. Remember, Yoda went to go fight Sidious. Kenobi went to Mustafar. Neither one of the motherfuckers searched that temple to see if anybody else was alive. They said gone.
Something else somebody had pointed out on Twitter is, we don't know if she ended up seeing Anakin also marching on the temple. And then it's an extra level of hate because it's like, bro, you let your Padawan do this? This is what happened? This is your tutelage?
That's what I was saying, Joel, was my one issue with these two episodes was how open she was about knowing who Vader is. Nobody outside of 3 people should know who Vader is. That was my only issue. So I'm reserving my hate for that to see how she knows. But no one should know who Vader is in these 10 years that have passed. There's only 3 people. Tarkin, Thrawn, Palpatine. That's it. Those are the only 3 people that know. Vader used to kill people for just seeing him without his helmet. So I'm like, no way Vader trusted this person and is like, yeah, fuck it. Hey, it's me, Anakin. Like, no. So I'm very curious if she maybe knows and he doesn't know that she knows.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think.
I do think that he doesn't know that she knows.
That's I had to see the writing.
How do you know that she knows? That's what I'm trying to.
She said that.
She says it. She says
it to him. When she said he's alive.
Vader alive. She says Anakin Skywalker.
She said, remember,
alive.
She said, oh, you didn't know? You didn't know that Anakin is still alive? And that was when Kenobi had the fade to black when he got back in the ship and was just like, Anakin. Like it really hit him like, fuck.
She seems to be very nosy.
Yes. Yes.
She's to stick your nose somewhere else because she's gonna get her ass whooped.
I do think that's part of what leads to her death.
I think so too.
100%.
Like you said, how nosy she is, and I don't think Vader knows that she knows who he is. And I think
impossible.
I think that you think it's impossible.
That Vader openly knows. Yes.
Yes. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I said I don't think Vader knows that.
Oh,
she knows.
Right.
And I think sort of she knows, she probably have seen, like, all right, he kills people for knowing this. So I'm not gonna say anything. And I think that sort of leads to her death is like she slips up and he's like, all right, you know too much, you gotta die.
What might get her? She stabbed the Grand Inquisitor.
I'm sure that's not helping. That's clearly not helping.
I can't imagine that helps at all.
Not at all. But to be fair, the only person that would be upset in that sequence would be Palpatine.
Right.
Vader doesn't give a fuck about what you do with the Inquisitors. You can tell Vader tomorrow all the Inquisitors die, and he'd be like, all right, bet.
It could be a scene of Palpatine just coming, why did you do it? You just see Vader in the background.
Right, just like
good.
That's when Vader brings her in. Vader's just like, I gotta keep you. Fuck a Star Killer. I'm gonna keep Reva. Really, she know how to do her shit.
Right.
We were saying, Joel, the one slight continuity issue, like very slight, is that Kenobi might not have wanted to believe it, but that motherfucker watched a tape of Anakin killing children and then Palpatine swearing him in as the name Vader.
Yeah.
So it's like when you heard Vader, you should have immediately went like, something fishy here. Like,
right, like he's not naming another Vader.
Right.
Like he's not gonna, oh man, my last Vader
You
died.
don't know that. It's been 10 years. Last time I checked, this motherfucker's dead. Could be a new Vader.
It could be, but it definitely should have been something he was a little bit more interested in knowing about. Knowing that the last time he heard the name, it was given to his best friend.
Vader is not this common of a name, guys.
Yeah, like, no way. They're just handing this shit out like cookies.
But he also heard the name and then killed Anakin not long after that. So that was the last he heard of it.
That's what I was going to say.
He's been living in the desert for 10 years.
That would be even more confusing is if I say to myself, I know I personally killed this motherfucker. So
I saw him
Vader. Right.
Yeah, but that was a new name, so it's like he don't care.
To be fair, he heard it once, so maybe it didn't stick with them. You would think it would. I'll give you that.
I would think it would.
Cool, but you gotta remember Obi-Wan at the time. Obi-Wan first of all didn't want to believe what he was listening to, and it was like
that's what I was saying.
Vader,
that's what it comes down to.
He doesn't think about, but he thinks about Anakin.
Yeah,
I think it's more Anakin. So. I think it just more so comes down to he just refused to believe it. Because remember, Ahsoka didn't want to believe it.
Right.
True.
Darth Vader was slapping her in the face with "I'm Anakin." And she was like, "Nope, you're not." It took showing half his face for her to
she
go.
Was like, that can't be.
She was like, okay, yeah, no, maybe you're right. Yeah, you're Anakin. Okay, all right, I had to see it.
She was in denial too, so you're right.
100% denial. Like Anakin was just like, "Hey, it's me," and she was like, No way.
He would
he would.
I'll tell you who did though. Mace Windu. He knew. He was like,
he knew. He knew he knew immediately. He knew as soon as Anakin said stop. He was just like, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Qui-Gon, that son of a bitch.
That's why I tried it because I did a marathon of the prequels before going into Kenobi, and a lot of people are like Anakin, like, you know, his motivations for being so upset. A lot of people are like, it was forced. And I'm like, y'all forget, as a 10-year-old, he stood in the room and watched other men say, "Nope, I don't fuck with you. Nope, can't stay here. Go back home. You'll never be one of us." Like, he had to listen to people say that as Qui-Gon is just like, no, he is a child. Right. Like, relax. Yeah. Mace Windu, when Anakin was 10, was just like, I don't like you. Sorry. And it was just like,
I do not trust you.
What the fuck? And he had to consistently hear
Jedi,
that.
He was too old. You know, he was too old
already.
He's already emotional. Like, he's a very emotional teen. Not a teenager yet, but he's already.
He was 10.
He's 10, yeah.
But they're like, he's too old to be trained and all this extra shit. And look, obviously that's something I think should be adjusted. Like, come on, if you got force, especially someone as powerful as Anakin was.
Yes. Right. I remember when Qui-Gon sent his midichlorian count to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was just like, "This shit high as fuck," and he was like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I want to bring him with this." And Kenobi was just like, "I don't think that's
it's rare. We don't even know who his daddy is."
Yo, there was nothing funnier than when his mother told Qui-Gon that. Where Qui-Gon was just like, "And what about his father? He doesn't have one." Qui-Gon was just like, "Bitch, stop lying. Who's his daddy? Like, it's okay. Tell me." And she was like, "No, seriously. I was just pregnant one day." He was like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" Like,
what? Which is a valid response, you know, to be like, man,
immaculate conception.
That's a very valid response to that. To be like, what?
Qui-Gon was just puzzled. He was standing there like,
like, this math is not.
That's why he thought he was the chosen one. He was like, "There's no father. Like, unless she's a fucking liar, I don't want to call her out like that."
Right.
Maybe the whole time he did think like, this lying.
Look, what they didn't show in the deleted scenes is right after that, Qui-Gon went around the village and was like, yo, what y'all know about her? Did she get around?
Yeah.
What y'all know? What y'all know about her? Yeah. Did she get around? No? Fuck, maybe she is telling the truth. Let me take this boy. Like, maybe this power's real. I'm gonna fucking scoop this boy up. But what else stood out to you?
Tatooine was actually Nazareth.
Right.
Oh wow, hilarious.
Nah.
Hilarious.
That was good. What else
That
stood
was
out
really
to you in
good.
these 2 episodes, Joel?
Yeah, that really. I mean, we got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I just
You want to talk about the clone trooper?
Oh yeah, we got to see an old clone trooper begging on
the
the street like,
501st?
some money.
He was like, "Yeah, Anakin didn't bring me with him when he stormed." I was on the outside.
Right now in transition, right? Looks like from clones to, or was that not?
Well, no, 10 because remember, Bad Batch was telling us they were initiating this within the first few months,
right,
of their rise. So 10 years later, you should have fully phased out.
Yeah, they should have at this point.
There might be like 1 or 2 still left. You never know.
Oh no! I believe that there's stragglers.
There's
I believe there's stragglers. I'm just saying.
I don't know if they ordered 66 all the clones, did they? Because I don't think that's
no.
Y'all don't have jobs now. Go live your life somewhere else.
There was a semblance of a purging of those said troopers, because Palpatine's fear was you don't want them to rise against you. So it was somewhat of a purging of some of those clones, but not like, all right, guys, come in the room. As soon as they get in there and just blow up the room. Like, no, it wasn't that. So yeah, there's some
kill them at lunch.
It's like, have you guys?
And it's just force lightning to everyone.
I'm just picturing Palpatine. Just like, have you guys ever been to Alderaan? You haven't.
So we got a great retirement community on Alderaan for all.
I want you guys to all go to Alderaan for me, okay? It'll pay off in a few years, but just go to Alderaan. Trust me, it'll be worth it. But yeah, it was good seeing Bail Organa come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Bail and his family. Like we never. Yeah. I'm not used to the Organas.
Yeah, the hierarchy of Organas. That was very interesting. Obviously, like you said, his wife. To me, it's kind of risky to me bringing Inquisitors to Tatooine, because it's one of those things where it's like she felt very confident that Obi-Wan Kenobi was there, right? So it kind of leaves the idea of, if you're the Inquisitors, do you ever think to yourself, maybe I circle back around and go to Tatooine again, maybe catch him off guard? Because you very much presented yourself instead of just like sneaking around to see if he pops up anywhere. You very much landed and was just like, all right, we're here. Anybody
they definitely came in just furious. The Inquisitors have arrived, everyone. Bring your Jedi. Bring your Jedi. Jedi. Come around. Come here so I can kill you. Which is a very weird thing, very much so. You would expect them to be just a little bit more stealthier than that, just like maybe, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like sneak in there, see if you can catch somebody off guard being a Jedi. But they very much just landed and was just like, nobody's openly coming here.
Sense a Jedi, right?
Well, I think
when they got there, they're like, we already have an idea he's here. We just don't know exactly where.
Right,
then they fished him out, obviously.
Right.
Eventually they got him, and it's like there has to be more. And then she's pretty sure, like, yo, he has to be here somewhere. She's on a mission for Obi-Wan. Like, I want this specific motherfucker that we gave up looking for, but I don't.
Forever ago.
Right? They're like, yeah,
right.
Look, we tried. We don't know where the fuck he's at.
Reva was like, y'all are lucky canon exists. I would have stabbed the fuck out of Uncle Owen. I would have brought his ass out.
Man,
you're lucky that canon exists.
Even though obviously knowing that Uncle Owen's gonna survive, there was a smooth second. I was like, something's gonna happen.
I'm telling you right now, when Uncle Owen got to heaven, he damn sure said, I would have preferred that lightsaber. I would have preferred right through the stomach, boom, out of my misery. They set that motherfucker on fire. Like they burned Uncle Owen.
That is true.
Somewhere he was just like, Reva had me. She was looking out for me. I should have taken it. Should have fucking taken it.
There was a smooth second that I was like, maybe he has like an injury we just never knew of. Like,
right, like he gets stabbed real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Uncle Owen was just like, nah.
There was a nice homage to not homage, like they showed you where he got the toy, Luke's toy, the spaceship.
Yep.
You know, that was cool. I love that because it's a little bit of nod to like, look, now that you go back and watch New Hope, you're like, we know where he got that toy from, and that was a toy from Ben that he eventually Owen eventually lets him keep.
Right, eventually.
Which is cool.
Right after Owen says, you know what? Maybe I fuck with Kenobi a little bit. You can have this toy, Luke.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing with Leia. I think it's like we know that Leia knows who Obi-Wan is.
Right.
Or has some type of relationship. We watch New Hope. She's like, oh, Ben, I know Ben. So
Yeah.
like at least now this establishes like they met.
Why she was so
Why
I was
she-
saying that
right.
yeah, I was saying that too. That was something my dad had pointed out to me. He was like, oh, it makes sense now why when he said Ben Kenobi, she was like, oh shit, business is happening. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I do love the balance of things. So like Leia had the relationship with Ben, right? Luke is the only person out of the two of them that had the relationship with Vader. So Luke at the end of the day used to go, ha, you might have known Uncle Kenobi. I fucking knew our father. How about that, Leia? How about that? I brought his ass back to the light side. Not you.
It's not like
me.
she never met him. Just they didn't have a handoff. You know,
She met him right before he was just like, all right, home, gone, and then go to your room.
Home gone.
Go to your room.
She
Go to your
arrested,
room,
he
Leia.
arrested her right on the ship, right in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
But
So
yeah,
she
they
can
have
say,
the moment.
yeah. She's like, yeah, I met our dad. He was pretty cool, you know, blew up my family and everybody I knew and loved.
You know what? At that point, she was like, "Fuck that guy." I said, "That's your dad." I'm like, "Really? Fuck that guy."
She's like, I can just picture her saying to Luke, you don't know what I went through. Our dad put me through some shit. And Luke's just like, no, you're absolutely right. I only don't have a left hand, but you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I
He
have
cut your
no
hand
idea.
off. He blew up the planet I was raised in with my step parents and my cousins, my pet droids. All of them gone.
Luke's like, you know what? You're right. My uncle Owen got burned
Killed
alive.
Uncle Owen.
I lost my hand. He
Killed
killed
old Ben.
right in
Crazy
front
old
of me.
Ben.
Like, yeah, I don't know anything about what you're going through, Leia. I get it.
Old Ben, visits all the time now.
Right, yeah. But no, I agree with you. That was what I was actually telling my dad today. That I was really happy that Deborah got a chance to dive into, because it was confusing of like, why does she know so much? But Luke met this motherfucker and was just like, oh, hi, hello. It's just like,
Luke just thought he was some crazy old dude.
right, like why was Leia so intimate with not intimate, you know what I mean? How does she know Ben? And Luke was
why
just
was
like,
she so excited? She asked for his help, first of all.
Right.
Second, she was excited when he actually showed up. She's like, oh shit.
I do have
Got
to
the
say
message.
this. I was very disappointed that Deborah didn't fall into the trap and give me the line I thought Bail Organa was going to deliver. I thought when he messaged
you
Kenobi,
wanted you're our only hope.
you're our only hope. I
I'm
was
so
very
glad.
disappointed.
It would have been a cool callback, but I'm so glad because after it would have been a cool callback, I'd have been like, that was kind of cheesy.
That's kind of basically
I
what he was
wanted
saying.
that. I wanted that so bad. I was just like, she heard him say it one day. I was just like, yeah, that's a good way to get him. You're my only hope. There we go.
That's how you get this. All right.
She wouldn't have heard him say that.
No, but to be fair, yes, she did not. But she definitely could have went home and was like, how'd you get this motherfucker here? You're my only hope. I gotta remember that one.
Those are the magic words. All
I
right.
remember that one. All right. Because she definitely called Kenobi one day. It's like, hey, can you help me out? Nah, I'm retired. You're my only hope. All right, fine. I'll come help you.
It's funny. I wonder how serious it gets when 9 years later. I know this old dude that helped me out 9 years ago.
Right, 9 years ago. Yeah. I'm going to call on him. See if his old ass can come out here and
We'll
help.
see what else they go through, in the next couple episodes.
Right. She's charted as being in 6 episodes.
Oh, good shit. So there you go.
Yes, that's very
Well,
interesting.
I feel like this. The rest of the series is going to be, at least from his end, is going to be the trip to getting her back home. Like,
Right.
there's no way she's just showing back up on
Yeah.
Alderaan next episode.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
You
the
are
plan worked. They
absolutely
drew him out of where he was hiding, and we all know it's Tatooine, but they shouldn't.
Right.
But now it's the fight. Like, oh, now he knows that Anakin's alive. So now that's the repercussions of that. Like, oh my God, he's alive.
Mm-hmm. And then when he meets up with him, like when Vader shows up, and it's just like, you old motherfucker, you, huh? You're alive, ain't you? All right. All right.
Still hanging on there, are you?
Yeah, and he's like, and I learned my lesson. No lava, no higher ground.
No
Right.
high ground, no
Let's
So
see
line.
we were
what
going
you
to
can
stay
do.
even.
Yeah, let's see what you can do now, Kenobi. Let's see if you really got it on you like that, all right?
I have only like 30% flesh left on me.
Yeah, so there's not much of me you can really get rid of, bitch.
Nothing that can't be bought again.
Yeah, nothing that I can't just walk into the laboratory and remake.
Right.
But all right. We're all very excited for this Wednesday for the all new episode of Kenobi. I really hope that
Is it Wednesday?
Yes,
Yeah.
Wednesday. I really hope that it starts off with Anakin and Kenobi doing
So
something.
we're really gonna have Kenobi and fucking Ms. Marvel on the same day.
No, I think they're gonna push Miss Marvel to Friday till Kenobi's done.
I hope so, because man, that's gonna be.
As of right now, the
And-
dates show the same.
And look, here's
Yeah.
something interesting too. A lot of people were pointing out they think it was just a joke, but Ewan McGregor did make a statement to make it seem like this Kenobi series was 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Don't play with me, motherfucker.
I'm like, that's cool. I just I ask you, Disney, please don't make it the same day. Please
Please
please.
for me, because I actually go into work and I can watch one, but two is a nice stretch.
2 is rough, yeah.
Yeah. And just the amount of content I got to put out in the course of 48 hours.
Just I gotta avoid spoilers all day if I don't. And it's hard. I like being on Twitter, news, and shit.
Yeah, it's rough.
People can't fucking shut up for an hour, so not gonna do it for 8.
Yeah. Come on, please, just do us that favor. Just put one on one, one on the other. Just don't make
For
it.
the love of God.
Yes, goodness gracious. All right, so let's move on. Star Wars Celebration was in full effect from Thursday to Sunday. We
Fucking
got
love.
so many goodies. I want to start off with the one that literally made me sob. And that was seeing the footage of Mandalorian Season 3 that will be releasing in the fall of next year. I'm sorry, the spring of next year. Spring of next year. What footage, man? Holy shit.
I can't
Oh
wait
my
for the high
God.
def to not
of
see
course.
the non-leaked
Yeah,
version.
And to not
Bro.
also hear people screaming at the top of their fucking lungs. Like, how are you
Right.
hearing what they're saying? You don't even know what
Right.
you're screaming for.
Yeah,
Like-
just so I don't get, everyone else don't talk about it. I watched what I could, but I hate so much watching bootleg anything.
I do too, because I'm like, if you're gonna record it, how do you do such a shitty job of recording it? Like, you put it all the way up, so we only got to see like the heads of the top of the screen. The
Yeah.
screen is massive, and you managed to get this much of the screen.
How short are you?
They go like this. They go, all right, we're gonna go record here. Just
And then they're screaming, jumping up and down, and it's like, all right,
Right.
bro, you shouldn't be the one recording. But I was very excited to see. Obviously, it looks as though Bo-Katan is the main protagonist.
antagonist.
Antagonist. Sorry. Din is the.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it looks to be a full all-out war for Mandalore.
Mhm.
I already love the sound of that, and I got to see Bo-Katan on the throne. What? Yes. But I will say this, Dave Filoni, you got a lot of work on your hands because you got to retcon some shit. Because I believe one of the last times I saw Bo-Katan, she was gifting Mandalore to Sabine. And then you bring her back in Mandalorian where it's just like, she wants it all back. What? She gave it up. She didn't need to give it up. She
That's
handed it to
true.
Sabine. So then when you fast forward to Mandalorian and she's just like, I need to get it back. Well, you originally gave it up for Sabine to get it taken.
Well, we don't know how she lost it, right? Do we know how Sabine lost it?
Moff Gideon. He was saying
Well,
that
well, then
when
that's
it
why
was
she wants it back. It should have not. That's different.
no, but that's my point. You should, if you didn't give it up, you would have been in a position to protect it better. Is
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm saying.
she trusted her to not to, and it didn't work out. So obviously, she's like, "Look, that guy can't have it." So she wants it
Wait,
back.
I thought she got it from Sabine
No, she gave it to Sabine.
to Sabine. Oh man, I
Okay, no. Time out. You are technically right. So Sabine did find it, right? Sabine found it. And then when she found Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan's the legend of Mandalore, she thought she was the proper ruler. So she gave it to her.
Right.
Okay.
And
Right.
then after Sabine had shown that she had earned that dark saber, Bo-Katan said, well, I don't see anyone better suited to protect Mandalore and their people than
Right.
you. So she gifted it to her. Now, the only blank canvas is how Sabine managed to fuck up enough for Moff Gideon to get it. I assume when Moff Gideon did the Purge of Mandalore, when he did the Purge of Mandalore, I believe Sabine might have been there, barely escaped with her life, and Moff Gideon was able to defeat her in combat to then gain that dark saber.
I was about to
It's
say
the only
that-
thing that makes
that's
sense.
also the rule thing. Like you can't really just give it away. You're not supposed to just give it away.
Well, to be
and
right,
maybe
I'm
that-
sorry. Go ahead, finish.
I know maybe that's another reason Bo-Katan's like, I'm not gonna fight her for it. I mean, she's earned it. Or else we would have had to fight and I had to kill the bitch. I don't want to do that.
Right. And to be fair, it wouldn't have made sense for Bo to fight Sabine because Sabine handed it to her and she was just handing it back. So essentially it was her saying, I never really took it from you because I didn't earn it.
They
so
never
I'm just giving it back to
the
you.
battle.
Right. Because I know that confused a lot of people, but I'm like, no, it does make sense because Sabine didn't know it was her place to even have it. So that's why she gave it to Bo. And Bo was saying, no, you found it. You've earned it. You keep it.
Obviously don't know the rules.
Yeah, that makes sense. I did misremember that.
Yeah, no, but you were partially right because Sabine did have it first and then gave it to Bo-Katan.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That was the last I remember, and that's why I'm like, all right, wait a minute.
That Dark Saber is a whore. That's been around.
It's been
made
everywhere.
its rounds. It has made its rounds, but you know, us to give the Dark Saber a little bit of slack. It's been consistently with the Clan Vizsla, till recently. All right. Now in possession. Because I think we forget pre-Vizsla died and it went to Maul.
Where do you want it to end up at the end of the day?
I don't like the idea of Din being the ruler of Mandalore. I like Din kind of beating to his own drum, where his focus is really just him and Grogu. I think Bo-Katan deserves to be the Queen of Mandalore, or just ruler of Mandalore. We don't have to put a specific title, just ruler of Mandalore. But I'm just a diehard Bo-Katan fan, so to me, I would rather Bo-Katan have it.
I don't necessarily disagree. I don't mind him having it. I just don't necessarily want him ruling over Mandalore.
Yeah, same. Like I understand that it has to, that's obviously the symbol of the ruler. So it's like he kind of, because I don't want him to rule Mandalore, he kind of has to give it up. But
right.
I don't mind him having the actual saber itself.
Yeah, especially now that he melted down his damn spear.
Right.
Like he got that shit. You're like, God damn it.
You need some type of melee.
Well, I love Din, but man, like we'll see. I look forward to seeing what happens there.
That's my biggest thing, because if you do rebuild Mandalore, I don't want him anywhere else with that Darksaber. That needs to stay in Mandalore. Right,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like you kind of have to give it up for that because you want that. But in terms of just like, man, it's great that he has it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I like him having it till he loses it to Bo-Katan. I'm completely fine with him having it forever, however long he has it, as long as that shit goes back to Bo-Katan. That's all I have.
Does he have to die, or can it just be like, I concede?
Yeah, you can concede.
So what's interesting?
Yeah, because he beat me Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Also, remember, Moff Gideon's not a Mandalorian, so the rules don't necessarily apply to Moff Gideon. Right. He could care less how the Darksaber is either given or taken. He's just saying from a Mandalorian to another Mandalorian, it has to be in defeat. But it makes it look like they're gonna want to kill each other in this season. But no, I don't think anyone
has some animosity there. Yeah.
Right. What's interesting with that is I was trying to go back so I can find so I can rewatch those episodes. And I was rewatching the Mandalorian like towards the end of that season, and it almost sounded like Gideon was saying the only reason why she has to fight for it now is because she gave it up, which obviously I should have remembered then that, oh, that's right, she did give it to Sabine. But so like, is that the reason why they have to fight? And I can't remember, to be honest.
No, so originally the law of Mandalore was, because remember, it was the whole thing between Maul and pre-Vizsla. You had to have a fair fight, and there usually there has to be witnesses, which is why Moff Gideon was taking advantage of Bo-Katan, because it's like, no. In this room in front of everybody, you got to fight it out for you to get that Darksaber back. It can't just be word of mouth. Like, I fought Bo yesterday and won it from her. So no. I don't know that. Like, that's why he was saying.
So that's what he's saying. Okay.
Remember what he said? He said the power isn't the Darksaber. It's the story.
The story. Yeah.
It's the story of how each person got it. So if Bo-Katan goes home and they're like, oh, you defeated Moff Gideon? Nah, I just handed it to me. They'd be like, if you don't get the fuck up out of here, you better go bring me his head. That's why it was important for Maul. Remember, he cut Pre Vizsla's head off and then proclaimed himself to be the ruler of Mandalore.
Right.
And that's essentially when Bo-Katan had to go seek out Ahsoka's help or the Jedi's help to get Mandalore back, because Maul had owned it. It's his now. There was nothing she could do. He now is. But again, the people didn't know Darth Maul was the ruler of Mandalore. He had a mouthpiece that essentially was acting as the buffer between the two. But yeah, the story is what's the true power. So it has to be one, not just handed. But it looks awesome. I'm very excited for the shots that we got. I do love the line that Bo-Katan delivers to Grogu, to where it's, you thought your dad was the only true Mandalorian? Like, no. Like, that's adorable, but no, he's not.
But interesting, he shouldn't have. He saw other ones. Or I guess
we don't know the context of it, but I think she might be referring to maybe the true Mandalorian. I don't know. I don't know.
It was definitely a great line, but then when I thought about it, I'm like, well, no, he saw other ones. That's just
he
his
for
fault.
sure saw other ones.
That's just his fault if he thought that.
Yeah. But again, it could be that child complex where you're just like, nah, my dad's the only motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all emulating him.
Yeah, y'all all trying to be my dad. And she's just like, no, your dad's not even a true Mandalorian. Like,
oh my God. I should have dropped that on him. He's not even one of us.
He's not even one of us. We just picked him up somewhere. Like,
wait till someone says that to Grogu. Like, what are you talking about? He ain't a Mandalorian.
Like, you want to get force choked? Because you're talking a lot of shit right now.
I'm a Mandalorian now. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm the Grogu-Lorian. They didn't tell you?
Grogu-Lorian.
Fucking ask somebody. But no, it looks very awesome. And the extended he's a Grogu-Lorian. The extended footage that was leaked also was a screaming match between Grogu and Bo-Katan.
I didn't see that footage.
Yeah, Grogu wasn't listening to obviously I can't hear it because everyone's screaming.
Of course.
But she kept saying something and Grogu was just like, and she was just like, no, like she was very insistent upon whatever she was trying to say. Grogu was just like, bitch, shut the fuck up. So I'm very excited for this. Again, part of me wishes it came out November, December. But if you're telling me spring, it's not that far away, and then Ahsoka's right after it, I'm fine. Because look, what's saving The Mandalorian for me is that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is in February. Because that being in February, that holds me, right? Because I know there's going to be so much about that shit I got to try to comprehend.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll be focused on that shit for like a month and a half. And then boom, walk right into Mando. I'll be focused on that for about a month and a half. Boom, walk right into Ahsoka. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I could do that way. I can do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I could do that way. Because look at the wait that we're gonna have between well, not really. I was gonna say the wait between Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. And then Miss Marvel to right into She-Hulk. It's a little bit of a wait, not a massive one, but a little bit.
It wasn't crazy. I mean, Moon Knight, I think it ended at the beginning of the month. Wasn't that?
Beginning of May.
Yeah, because it was right before Doctor Strange. That's right.
The biggest gap we had, honestly, was February was empty. It was like, bleh, nothing there.
Right.
But after that, we've been every month we got something, so it's awesome.
Right, and it looks like we'll continue that path.
At least till September, because I have nothing scheduled in September at the moment.
Well, September, Q and Bad Batch. I believe Bad Batch will probably be September.
Hopefully.
Late September.
It hasn't. It said fall.
Because Visions is coming out this year too.
Visions is next year.
It's next year?
Visions is 2023.
What else was this year? Something else was this year.
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi. Thank you.
That looks good, even though I didn't really say very much of it. But I'm excited.
Oh man, Joel, the one scene I was telling Didge about is remember in season 7 where Ahsoka was fighting the clone troopers and she was holding her own, like whooping their ass? Mm-hmm. One of the scenes from Tales of the Jedi is Anakin training her to fight clone troopers.
Same way, yeah.
And he tells her, because the line he delivers, there's 2 lines he delivers. The first one is, I will train you so that you're always able to defend yourself. And then the second line is when she gets stunned by one of the troopers and he just very angrily says, get up, do it again. And you see her like staggering to get up to run it all over again. So we get some more Anakin, which I'm always a fan of. Matt is outside of Hayden, because like Hayden is to me the OG. But fuck if Matt isn't just like, God damn, man. I feel like they complete a puzzle. I can't have one without the other, right? Like Matt is the other half of that said puzzle. But that's one of the scenarios. Joel, Ahsoka being raised. We get to see her mother. I was telling Didge, I hope we finally get to see when Plo Koon finds her. Yeah, remember that was her relationship. Was Plo Koon brought her into the Jedi Temple.
I like Plo Koon. He ugly as hell, but I like Plo Koon.
Plo Koon is sitting somewhere at home, just like, why?
Plo Koon, tell me he's
Plo Koon just like, you couldn't have left it at you like me? Like, what? Why did the ugly part have to come in?
It's funny because the first time I heard of Plo Koon was he was part in a video game called Jedi Power Battles, and he was the slow, strong one who used the gold lightsaber, which obviously is not canon.
Right.
And that was before Mace Windu was given the purple lightsaber.
Right.
So,
which George was not willing to give him. It took a lot of arguing for George to give him his purple lightsaber. George is very adamant about, like, everyone else is blue, green.
Green, yeah.
You want me to give you purple?
He definitely wanted the three colors, blue, green, and red. That's
right.
It.
And then here comes Samuel Jackson.
The guards they use yellow.
Were yellow. But that was supposed to...
that was after.
Right, but that was also supposed to symbolize, like, they were essentially like gray Jedi, and gray Jedi would have yellow lightsabers. So it was essentially supposed to be the balance that they were supposed to represent. Yeah. But pure Jedi were supposed to be green and blue. Yeah. It's why when you watch Attack of the Clones and you see all the Jedi land and it's nothing but blue and green, then Mace Windu jumps in and it's like
purple. I am both.
Like nobody ever has to go, has anyone seen Mace? Oh, I see purple. Mace, hey, I need you. Like
it's funny because basically that's saying I am both, because obviously the blue usually represents they're the more physical ones. They're the more warriors, right? Blue ones are the warriors, and the green ones are the more intellectual. And so the purple would mean both, right? Well, a little bit of both. But when you hear, I think Anakin describes like, you're as strong as Master Mace or Master Windu, and as wise as Obi-Wan or whatever the fuck it was. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, it's funny because I think Obi-Wan uses the blue, and that's more warrior, right? And then it's just he should be a balance of both, but because he's the only one that wears purple, and they don't explain why he's the only one that uses purple. But good on him, you know. He was able to, you know.
Look, Samuel Jackson explained it for us.
Was there?
Samuel Jackson said it.
I don't know.
Samuel Jackson said I walked in and said I want this shit. Yeah. No, I'm just saying Samuel Jackson just said I walked in and I want this shit. Give it to me.
There was a comic. I remember reading it way back in. I don't know if it's canon anymore. That basically they just said for some reason he couldn't. He wasn't able to go like on the trip to when they all actually go get the crystals, and he got some wild crystal. That was their sort of way of explaining it.
Oh, interesting. Well, there are other colors. Like, have you?
Yeah, it was a Dark Horse comic, so I don't know if it's canon.
Oh, Dark Horse is canon because the Vader comics are Dark Horse.
Well, this is also, but I'm saying this. Well, no, because
the Vader comics now are canon. I don't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The older, because this Dark Horse one came out.
Everything Revenge of the Sith. Every Marvel Star Wars comic is canon, technically. I don't know about Dark Horse.
Probably not. No, there's a few Dark Horse
from the Dark Horse comic.
Yeah, there's a few that are still canon. But yeah, if it came out before Revenge of the Sith, probably not.
And that's what I was saying. So like, I don't know what their in-universe story is now, but like I remember reading that.
Well, luckily for them, he's assumed to be dead, so they don't have to really worry about it.
Well, he's also supposed to show up in Tales of the Jedi. So
yes, he is, but younger. Yeah, but younger.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're getting Qui-Gon. We're getting with
young Qui-Gon, young Dooku.
Yes, young Dooku. Which I hope they go back into like his lineage, because Dooku was a rich motherfucker, man. I want to hear more about that. I want to hear more about him just throwing his money around. Like, bitch, give me his lightsaber. It's like, Dooku, you can't pay me to give you the lightsaber. He
was a born account, though, right?
I think he was.
Yeah, his dad. His dad.
family was for money.
Yeah, but his dad didn't fuck with him like that. Like his dad didn't really like him at all. His dad very much was just like, I'm rich, you're not.
I have money.
Yeah, I have money. Nah, there's no way. Go join your Jedi friends. No, work for your money. But yeah, so I told Didge I pray that we finally get some more Saifu Dyas. Like, damn, we only ever hear his name every blue moon, but never get to really see him. I want to see more of Sifo Dyas.
Tales of the Jedi. We should be able to see all the Jedi we don't normally get to see a lot of in their
Well,
stuff.
it sounds like it's gonna be primarily Ahsoka, Dooku, and Qui-Gon.
And
And I think
Qui-Gon,
other
right.
people are gonna sort of show up throughout
Now-
those stories.
I want to ask you this, Didge. Do you think we'll get the storyline of Qui-Gon's the woman Qui-Gon fell in love with that almost turned him to the dark side?
I feel like you have to.
No, so he fell in love with this woman and she died. She was murdered, and Qui-Gon fought going to the dark side, like really struggled with it, and it took him. It took her popping up in like a Force vision for that to kind of bring him back down. But he was ready to go full fucking dark side when she died.
I think you have to, because if you're telling, if they're saying that this is, like I said, if he's one of the three primary stories that they're going to be telling throughout this, you kind of have to go into that. That's something that sort of shapes his character. So you kind of have to tell that. Like,
I agree.
It would be very weird to not.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Because that was a really dark point for him. And I'm like, that's important, because what a lot of people fail to realize about Qui-Gon Jinn is Qui-Gon didn't really fuck with the Jedi like that. He very much, that's why he was telling Anakin, and that's why a lot of people believe if he were still alive, he would have understood Anakin when he spoke about his mom. He would have understood Anakin when he talked about the nightmares of Padme, because Qui-Gon very much did lead with his heart. He fucking brought a kid in that he knew was too old to join the Jedi Order. Like,
Right.
he led with his heart. He believed in this kid. And you saw the rest of the temple just like, no. Like, you're not being realistic here. No, he can't join. And Qui-Gon was just like, I care about this fucking kid. Sorry. I know I'm not supposed to, but I care about
it. It seemed like he was more so he was more so in tune to the Force than the actual Jedi Order.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
yes.
That's how I always looked at it.
That was also Count Dooku. He was in tune to the Force, never really understood the order of what the Jedi stood for. And that's why he was so susceptible to joining the dark side. Because he was just like, I don't really fuck with what they're saying anyway. And Palpatine was just like, come here, you can do what you want. And he was like, well, fuck it, sure. Like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. So there's a lot of stuff that they need to show us between these characters, but I'm very, very, very excited for Tales of the Jedi. It's going to be one of those really fun shows that I kind of just sit back and I go, season 2 of this might be really awesome. Like, you can really dive into some shit here doing a season 2 of this. So I hope it's not a limited series. Didge, which one of the stories stood out to you the most that you saw was confirmed?
I mean, honestly, I think just because I wasn't expecting it to come back, seeing Visions come back.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were saying that you were hoping that they sort of touch on the more characters that we know.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's just, I think Visions is probably the closest we're going to ever get to a what if with Star Wars.
Or just an Elseworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just being able to see other stories told in here that doesn't necessarily have to be a part of the ongoing canon. It's interesting. And like we were saying earlier, there are so many ways that you can just very easily throw it into canon, because almost none of the stories right now have anything that's on the current timeline. But so you can say like, oh, this happened 200 years ago, like 300 years in the future, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, these are all just stories. And I like just seeing different stories that have no bearing on anything.
Yeah, Joel, how do you feel about us getting a new season of Visions?
I like it because I like the first season of Visions. You got different tastes, different ways looking at Star Wars outside of the normal canon. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. There's a lot of different planets that you can mess with, different environments, different stories that can still feel old school yet have new tech. And like, I love anime, so I love old Japan shit, and the fact that they implemented that with Star Wars technology and lore, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Anytime you do something like you could give me basically samurai type of shit with lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yeah, can never go wrong there. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the season 2 of Visions brings us. I know it'll be good, so that I'm not worried about. It's just, what stories do you implement? Is what I'm more so kind of curious about. But all right, let's move on. We did get some leaked footage from the Ahsoka show that literally one up Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves had been filming 6 weeks and gave us a full-length trailer for the Batman. Ahsoka's like, bitch, I've only been filming for a few days. Here's some footage. Like, so I appreciated it. It was obviously here, fucking AJ told me what the name of this shit was. I always forget what you fucking call these things. I constantly struggle. The name of her hair. I fucking struggle with that shit all the time.
Oh crap, I forgot.
The Laku. Her Laku. So her Laku is the actual length that it should be. Dave
longer now.
Fucked up. Yeah, he fucked up on that before in Mandalorian. I'm glad he fixed it, rectified it. It's longer now. It looks as if they're on the Ghost. We see the back of Hera's head. We know that Sabine Wren is in it. We even get a shot. They recreated the final shot of Rebels in live action. The shot of the mural of Ezra and the team and Sabine looking at it. They recreated it. I was like, you guys, my nips. And then they didn't confirm it, but they brought out Chopper during the panel. So I'm like, that's confirmed. Chopper has to be in it.
They brought out Chopper. I think we're gonna
Chopper has to be in it. And they didn't confirm the Ghost either, but which is why I love journalism at its height. When Rosario Dawson was coming out of that panel and was coming outside, she was leaving. They caught her on the carpet for a question, and one of the guys asked her, like, how does it feel being in the Ghost? Like, you know, obviously, you know, they use the Ghost in the show. How do you feel about being in the Ghost? And she went on talking about like how much fun it is and how much she loves it. Then she goes, no, but you mean like at Disney World, right? Because there's no ghosts in my show.
I just saw that.
Like, yeah, she's like, there's no ghosts in my show, right? And it's like, no, there's ghosts in your show. You fucked up. It's cool. It's all right. It's all right. I just saw the video Trayvon sent me of Ewan McGregor almost spoiling something for this week's episode, and he goes, "Oh, whoa."
Oh, I watched that earlier.
Like, he's like, "Whoa."
Oh, his
oh,
like
you almost got
flashed.
me. He was like,
he was old.
Shit. You know, even though it's not even his universe, you know Kevin Feige was over there in the corner just like
he popped out. He popped out like
all right. He was like, "Oh, Kevin, I see you. Sorry, can't say nothing else, guys. Sorry, end of the interview. I gotta go. Thank you, though." So it was really cool to see Hera. I said this before, Joel, as I pass it to you on your thoughts of this show and whatever you were able to see, but I need confirmation that Zeb is in this show, or I'm gonna be a very angry motherfucker.
I agree.
Like, I love me some Zeb. Zeb needs to be there if everybody else is.
Yeah, that's why, because I would be okay with Zeb not being there if everyone else wasn't there. But if basically everyone else is there, how do you leave out Zeb? like right. You can't do that. It wouldn't make any sense. And it's also a character. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it in live action. Like that creature.
No.
Right? I don't even know what they're called. I know there's a name. I just don't remember what they're called. And that's one I would love to see because we've seen it twice now. Zeb is one, and Cal's master was one.
Yes.
And that is the original design, I believe, for Chewbacca. Prior to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, before the Wookiee. So yeah, so that's another reason I'd love to see a live action version of whatever. I'll look it up, but whatever's that.
Oh,
I'm checking now.
By the way, this is something very interesting that I know that both of you would love because I believe that both of you believed this from the beginning. So remember how everyone kept saying they weren't sure if Cal Kestis ever met Anakin Skywalker, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is actually a canon book where Anakin talks about Cal's master, and Anakin describes him as, I spoke with, I can't remember Cal's master's name. That. But he said, it says in the book that Anakin described it as talking with his master and some redheaded kid. And it's like, oh, fuck, that's Cal Kestis.
So they clearly met.
They did, but Anakin said the book made it seem like it was more so in passing.
Right. Yeah.
Not like he stood there and talked to Cal. It was more so just like Cal has seen Anakin before.
Right. I remember seeing that after that discussion. And I think seeing it like that, I was like, it's not worth bringing up.
Yeah, no, that is worth bringing up because a lot of people are under the mindset that Cal Kestis has no idea who Anakin Skywalker is. And I'm always of the mindset of that Jedi Temple is very big. We watched 7 seasons of Clone Wars and saw 4 fucking rotating Jedi ourselves. So it's very possible that they were doing shit and just never really like they know of him, like they've heard of him, but never really met him. So I'm like, it's possible. So now that we know that canon says that he has seen
at least met
him. At least met him. Right.
They're called Lasat. Sorry.
Lasat. The Lasats. Okay. The Lasat. Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that. I like seeing it, but I like seeing Zeb for what he is and Cal's master for what he was. Because I'm like, it's just good to see versions. It's same with the Wookiees. We've seen Wookiees with lightsabers.
His name is Jaro Topple or whatever.
Jaro. Okay. Got you. So yeah.
Master, Jaro.
It's the book, Didge. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the book with Anakin and Obi-Wan on the cover.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
I saw it on Twitter. Somebody talking about it.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So that Didge, anytime something pops up, always bring it up because even the smallest thing, at least to me, is important. I don't give a fuck if anybody else cares.
For me, if no one else cares, you
I
want to know.
Hell yeah, I care. Little things like that to me do matter because now I'm like, when you go into the next game, how long before a Cal Kestis starts to put the pieces together, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, shit like that matters. Shit like that doesn't matter. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
I just I'm looking at Jaro's his thing. And it says after the onset of the Clone Wars, Topple spoke briefly to Anakin Skywalker as the youngling Cal Kestis trailed behind him following Skywalker's knighting ceremony.
Right. Yep.
So that was the instance.
Yeah, because we never really get to see that in Clone Wars. We only really got to see it during Obi-Wan's fake death, where all the Jedi assemble, and you can see the different faces. We don't usually get that, so. Oh, and back to Kenobi really quickly, Joel. We were talking about this because this is very important to a lot of people that were saying that misunderstood Reva. They thought Reva knew that Leia was
I understood. I know some people are confused.
It's still going across the internet. People are wondering, like, how did she understand? It's so weird.
The importance.
She explained, I think she explained it fine, though.
No, I agree. I completely agree. And also the importance for a lot of people. Go back and rewatch Revenge of the Sith, because a lot of people forget Yoda and Obi-Wan kept Padme's stomach during her funeral. And that was their way of showing Palpatine and whoever was watching that she died along with her children. So it goes more into the fact of a lot of the galaxy thinks she died with the babies. So they don't even know what a Luke and Leia is. They don't connect the dots.
They don't know that they're Skywalkers, right?
Right. So that goes more into the galaxy doesn't know. Palpatine doesn't even fucking know. When Palpatine finds out, he's just like, I'm sorry, huh? What?
Yeah, I want to know what happened that day. Like when he found
out. He was just like, how much do I need Vader? Can I corrupt two of them? Yeah. Can I corrupt two of them into killing Vader?
Well, he was like, he's about to dump Vader.
One Vader is cool.
I got a younger version that's not half dead. All right.
He was like, Luke, do you have all of your faculties? I lost my hand to my dad. He's like, fuck, okay, we can work with that. Is anything else robotic? No? Vader, you're out. What about your... Palpatine was like, what about your sister? She used the Force? She does. You've trained her? Fuck. All right. Both of you come in here. Let's get your dad out of here. Let's chart on.
Yeah, like a whiteboard. That's just Vader's? Cool. Vaders. Put an S at the end.
Yeah.
Vaders.
I like the sound of that. No, ultimately Palpatine wouldn't have wanted Luke and Leia because he would have felt as though both of them loving each other the way that they do, or loving each other the way that they ended up loving each other would have always been a threat. And he would have had no room for that. None. He would have first day he would have said, all right, shit, I changed my mind. Both of y'all gotta die.
Right.
I can't risk this shit.
I'm sure he thought about it for a second though.
He did. He was just like, ooh, two of y'all. No, can I? No, I can't do two. I'm thinking though. But let's get into, speaking of Cal Kestis, let's get into, we now know, we got the name before, Star Wars Survivor. We know it comes out next year. It'll exclusively be for next gen systems, which will be another pain in the ass, but hey, gotta do it.
You might have the system by then.
Hopefully.
Who knows? Because
that's my goal.
Because here's the thing. Me not having the system now is a choice. It's not like, oh, I can't find any of them. It's more just like
mine is not a choice. I cannot find what I want.
All right, we're gonna talk afterwards, Joel, so we can find it for you. Because for me, I'm just like I don't consistently.
Good for you. I can't find a damn one.
I don't consistently game enough for me to justify getting it till I know that
fair.
there's just more games that I want. And games that don't come out for the system I currently have.
That's fair.
When I get to that point, and it's just like, well, Juwaan, if you don't move up, you won't be able to play none of this shit. Then yes, of course. But I'm more so holding out for the possibility of, and shout out to Jamie, because Jamie coined this phrase, but the possibility of Super Nintendo Switch being released with the new Breath of the Wild game. That's what I'm waiting.
That annoys me. I'm like, I don't want to get I'm already gonna get a PS5. I don't need another Nintendo.
That's why I'm saying I'm waiting. Because part of me is just like, that new Spider-Man might be hitting on something. But I do want to Switch again. Like, I want my Switch, right? And I'm curious to see what the capabilities are, like if it expands itself. Because the first thing I said is, if Star Wars Survivor is on the Switch, fucking Switch all day. Are you serious? I'll watch Joel play Spider-Man.
Was Jedi Fallen Order on the Switch?
No, but remember, they were saying that its processing isn't big enough to handle that game. So that's why a lot of people are theorizing that the next one could be made even stronger, where it can handle some of these games. I mean, if you're telling me it just looks different than the one I already got, there's just no way I'm paying $500 to get it. It needs to be doing a lot of things better. But Star Wars Survivor, I love the trailer. I still to this day don't understand why a lot of people thought that was the Great Inquisitor. I think because Kenobi's out and they're just like, it kind of look. It's not the same thing at all.
He didn't even look that much like him. Well,
not even a little bit. There was no tattoos. Always go for the tattoos.
I was gonna say, I guess maybe that was the thing that just maybe doesn't look that much like him. But I guess if you're disregarding that, maybe somebody could say it, but he didn't.
The thing I went right to is Didge. The thing I went immediately is Anakin killed one of that race on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I've seen one of that race before. So I'm like, that's not a new race that they're just bringing in.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, they do look a little different than the last time we saw them live action compared to this time.
Yes, I will give you that. But the story, I still haven't wrapped my head around. And look, I reread the Vader comics 3 times to see if there's any wording that could justify that Jedi being the first Jedi that Vader thought he killed when he went to go bleed his crystal. And I reread it again, Didge, and that comic does state that Vader broke his throat and then lunged him into the water, like into a ship that was falling into the water. It made it seem like Vader snapped his neck, but it stated that he crushed his throat, and then threw him off into the water.
That sounds like a snap the neck type thing.
It could be, but I also could see a possibility to where he survived. Palpatine found him and was trying to clone that motherfucker. That's one of the first few Jedi he was trying to clone. We know he was trying to get power from Grogu for his cloning. Right. So I'm like, could it be? It looks just like him. That's the thing that holds me up so much, is that it looks just like him.
What's his name?
Fuck, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
Is that F-U-C-K fuck?
No, just Google the first Jedi Vader killed to bleed his crystal.
So you have to kill a Jedi to bleed
No. That was just the icing on top of the cake for Vader. You just need the crystal. You don't need to kill anyone to bleed said crystal.
Really,
but
you just need the crystal.
You only need the crystal. Say it again.
Was it Kirak? Kirak? Or?
Send me what you're looking at so I can see it.
He has like an X scar on his chest.
Yes, that is him. Yes. Does he have like long hair but it's tied up?
He has like a double man bun, white hair.
Yep,
double white hair man bun.
That's him. And that looks like who's in that fucking tube in Star Wars Survivor.
Look blonde though. Was it white hair?
Wait, look blonde in the game trailer?
Yeah, in the game trailer.
No, it looked white to me.
It definitely looked white to me.
Yeah, it looked white.
Yeah, I thought it was blonde.
It looked white.
The only thing, well, he was in the tank, so you don't get a true thing on the skin color. So his skin is
not at all.
greenish.
Carrick looks old. This guy didn't look that old, but I could be wrong.
No, at that time he wasn't old. And his character was actually really remarkable. He wasn't part of the Jedi Order. He was apparently part of the Jedi that would only fight. Like they weren't part of the temple, they weren't part of the council. They were only used to fight. Essentially how they used the Bad Batch.
The skin gray too. That's weird.
Yeah, it again.
Yeah, he's gray on gray.
Right, yeah. And he was very powerful. Like he beat the shit out of Vader before Vader was just like, I forgot who I am. Let me kill this motherfucker real quick. He was very in tune with the Force, very powerful also. But before we go more into Star Wars Survivor, I do want to bring up one of the things that made that moment when he took the crystal special is, if you remember, Didge, because I know you read the Vader comics, right?
Yeah.
If you remember, when he went to go bleed it, he essentially passed out, Joel, and he had this real come to life moment where he goes back to Palpatine, right? Mm-hmm. And Palpatine's just like, did you get the crystal? Did you bleed it? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, and he ignites it, and it's still green. And he goes and fights Palpatine and kills him. And then he goes, finds Obi-Wan, takes off his helmet, and pleads for Obi-Wan to forgive him. And just when you're like, what the fuck is happening? Mm-hmm. He snaps himself out of it, fuels himself with his hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then just bleeds the fuck out of that crystal. He had to really dig deep into it.
I kind of don't want to be evil. Don't just shoot you.
Well, I think that was always that, like what's the overarching thing with Kenobi, his, I guess, nightmares from Vader's that Padme always saying like they're still good in him.
Right. And that was part of Vader's trial. It was giving him what his mind thought he wanted, right? And it was giving him the opportunity. You could actually go do this. Obi-Wan would still welcome you back. You just killed Palpatine. You've now brought balance to the Force, right?
Right.
And then Anakin woke up and was just like, I don't want any of that. I don't want none of that. I want to kill. So then he further fuels his aggression and bleeds the crystal, which I keep saying we need to see in live action. It is. I
was just going to say that would be so great to see live action.
It is beautiful to see crystals bled. It really is. It truly is. So I just wanted to bring that up because, like, if we get a scene like that in this Kenobi show, like it's Vader's nightmare. It would be awesome.
That would have to be. It wouldn't have to be. I think that would be something that they would show him, like that Vader spinoff that we keep hoping for.
Oh no, the bleeding of the crystal. Yes, I just meant the nightmare of him turning to the good side would be really interesting. Because it would because remember, it tortured Anakin for a long time. Kenobi still being out there, and then the idea of him turning back to the good side. He hated that shit. It really bothered him a lot. But all right, Star Wars Survivor. It looks like the crew is back. R.I.P. Trilla. We miss you, Trilla. You was a real one, Trilla. You was definitely a real one. But it looks like the team is back. I really have no idea who this new Sith character is. I don't really know. I'm pretty confused because it looks like it's still within the time of Vader. So
it's supposed to be set. It seems like it's set during the same time as Kenobi series is.
Yeah,
which is even more confusing because it's not an Inquisitor.
Right.
So it's like, who are you to think you could have a red lightsaber? Like, that's not just handed out. Those things aren't just handed. So how did you get it? I'm very curious what's going on. He looks like he has political power. So I'm also very curious in that. There's just like a lot of question marks about this character. But Joel, also, please do, when you get a chance, read that Vader series because it introduces the Grand Inquisitor and how Vader almost killed him when they first met.
Really?
Yeah. The Grand Inquisitor comes out talking shit to Vader, and Vader was just like, nah, I'm not weak. I was just holding back because I wanted to see how my new suit worked. And then Vader goes to kill him, and Palpatine walks in and is like, no. Shit, hey, whoa, hey, stop. I need him. He's part of this new program I'm putting together. Vader's just like,
I need him for now. Jesus Christ.
yeah, Vader's just like, program? What do you mean program? He's like, yeah, I'm putting together these Jedi that are now Sith that are going around killing Jedi for
It's
us.
funny because we always looking up the Inquisitors after Obi-Wan, and I'm like, all right, there was a gap there for the third sister. And then they showed like the 10th brother.
Mhm.
He looks like really cool. I'm like, who is this 10th brother, and why do we not see him ever in live action?
And in that Vader comic, we get one of the Inquisitors we see pop up in the first Fallen Order? Fallen Order. The sixth sister or seventh sister, whatever.
Seventh sister.
Seventh sister.
Yeah, because it's like after the Inquisitor, there's like sister, brother, sister, brother.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's so weird.
You definitely look inside that place and you just go, I don't know who any of you are. And it's just like, oh, don't worry, you'll get acclimated quick. But yeah, so it goes to the point I was telling, because remember we were talking about it one day, and you were like, didn't Vader train like some of the Inquisitors? And when you read the comic, Palpatine goes, look, you ain't got a fucking choice. Go train the Inquisitors. And Vader was just like, all right, cool, but I'm going to do it my way, how I want to do it. And Palpatine was just like, all right, bet. Soon as Vader showed up there, Vader was beating the shit out of one of the Inquisitors. And the Grand Inquisitor was like, whoa, what are you doing? It was just like, ain't no soft shit around here. If you can't deal with me, how you going to deal with Jedi? He was just like,
well, they were Jedi, so you gotta be harder, son.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, that's a pretty good point. But it goes deeper into Vader just not really understanding the point of Inquisitors. He was very taken back. Like, what do they do?
Well,
they kill Jedi?
He gotta train them, but you can't train them all the way.
Oh, it was the ninth sister, by the way. I double checked.
The ninth sister from the game.
That's the one that was in the game.
That's the big bitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's big. She was a bitch.
Oh,
I remember because I hated
you know what I
that
thought
fight.
you said, Didge? I thought you said the Knight. N-I-G.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, no.
No, yeah.
Sister.
I remember now because I hated that fight in the game. Oh,
Yeah,
I remember that.
I was a pain in the ass.
Yes.
I did
quite
too.
a pain in the ass.
I did too. I'm just like, and you made me fight in an area that isn't that is more suited for the sister, because you take up half the fucking so I'm like, I got nowhere to jump, backflip, cartwheel, nothing. Like, goddamn.
And the last bitch, who the whatever sister that was.
The second sister?
Was she second? She was a pain ass too, bro.
Actually, that fight wasn't that bad if I remember.
I don't know. That shit was annoying as fuck.
Oh man, that Vader fight wasn't easy either. That shit
not at all.
I didn't fight Vader. I fucking ran.
Joel's like, wait, I have an option? I'll get the fuck up out of here then.
Yeah,
I definitely
fucking run.
That's too funny. But no, Star Wars Survivor. Joel, I'll go to you first. What do you read into even just the name? Is this alluding to Cal surviving or the Jedi Order surviving?
Yeah, I mean, Jedi survivor. The fact that that's the last thing you think about is surviving Jedi at this point in time. Considering it takes place where it takes place.
Right.
And it looks like you might be able to play as more than just Cal Kestis this time around. So that's interesting in its own right.
Oh wait, really? I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that.
You can play with more than just Cal.
They're probably gonna have you play. They're probably gonna have you play with. I forgot her name. The Night Sister that was on the ship with.
There was a Night Sister. Yeah.
Oh, I would actually really like to play with her. I thought you meant other Jedi. If you're talking about I'm rotating amongst just that team,
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'm assuming his whatever the crew. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. I just don't want them
former Jedi on it.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be other new Jedi, because I'm like, bitch, the whole point is for you to get me further acclimated.
Marin, that's her name.
Cal Kestis.
What's her name?
Marin.
That's
the
She helps you out at the end.
Yeah, she's just a Night Sister. She's just
the Night Sister, and then former Jedi Sarah is it Junda? No, her first name is Seer. Like C-R-E.
Sarah.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah. So I could see you playing with one of them, especially.
Yeah, I can see that. The little pilot, I doubt it. I don't know. I don't expect that.
I don't know much. I don't know much of what he would do, but then again, I have played a game as Groot and Rocky. So
yeah, I don't know much of what he would do either, though.
Just saying.
You never know.
Part of me, I don't know. I really like the character of the Night Sister, but part of me wish Trilla lived, because Trilla would have been an awesome part of this team. Especially if I get to play as her, I would have fucking loved that. Fuck, damn, I miss you, Trilla. Anyway, Joel, so your thoughts on this game, the footage that was shown, how hype are you for 2023 and the release of Jedi Survivor?
Well, if it's anything like Fallen Order, I mean, fuck yeah, I'm super excited. I loved Fallen Order. It was like it was a game I always wanted Star Wars to be, was Fallen Order. I'm like, this is exactly what I imagined. I wanted this is what I wanted. You get to play as a Jedi, you get to use their powers. It's almost a platform type of game. It's so much like a Uncharted meets Star Wars, and I'm like, I love Uncharted, and it's very similar. And I'm like, this is what I want. The only thing you can be on par with, if I get to do this now with the Mandalorian. You may be able to compete, but like so far, I mean, the fighting, it took a little bit to get used to fighting in that game, but once you got used to it, everyone's kick everyone's ass. It's awesome. The boss fights are a challenge, but good. You need a little bit of a challenge. But that game was so fun, and it had its difficulties. Yes, it did.
For sure.
Again, you need a little bit of a challenge. You don't want to cakewalk throughout the whole game. It's boring.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. The fuck? I'm here for the story. Give a shit about this. Let me cakewalk through this shit.
You know what I mean?
Man, if I could moonwalk through that motherfucker, I would. I'd moonwalk right through that shit. Get me all through the story. Just all through the story.
I
definitely love the challenge.
Yeah, no, I definitely put it on whatever the medium one was. Whatever the medium.
Yeah, I'm on medium. Medium is fine.
Yeah, whatever the medium one was.
Hard enough, trust me.
Yeah. Yes. The only thing that would really make this franchise even better is if they opened it up a bit. I would love to be able to fly something. To where I'm not just sitting down and then it takes me to where I need to go. Like, let me actually fly that motherfucker. Let me fly something.
My problem with that is space. Unless you're light speeding, it might take. You're gonna literally just sit there and fly it.
Oh no! I don't mean that. I mean within the planet, like on the said planet. I want to be able to fly some shit. Like a little Jedi speed cruiser, like something. Like I want to be able to like fly something, get on something. You know what I'm saying?
Would be fun, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean from planet to planet, because that is just you would see me sit down and then it would zoom out.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my lord!
It'd just be infinite space. I wouldn't see nothing but just other planets. That's boring.
Now, if you want to have a fighter, like a jet, like you're on like that type of like X-wings fighting and shit, like that's different. That would be fun. It's been done.
Also different.
I don't like it's not my thing either, but they definitely have those.
That's also different. I need to be part of a war if I'm doing that.
They had that. What was it?
That's all they had for a while. It was just those.
They had a game that was literally just for
Battlefront.
No, not Battlefront. They was literally you were just the pilot the entire game.
Oh yeah, I forget the name of it though. I heard it was cool, but
I didn't like it just because
it's not my type of game though.
Was it Pod Racer?
No,
it was a fairly recent game.
Yeah.
Oh, Squadron.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Squadron.
That one.
I didn't like it because you were just literally. It was that obviously, like you said, Battlefront had the game mode that you were in the ship. That was the entire game.
Right.
And I was just like, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. I want it to be more open world to where and make your planets bigger, right? Because one thing I very much hate about certain games, and it's why I usually cater to open world. I don't like when you restrict me to where I'm going here, right? Like I like it expanded enough to where I can just go around, see what else is in. Like, how big is this planet? How beautiful is this planet? But when you're telling me I'm essentially supposed to go A, B, C, D, I don't really get to do any exploring. And I think that's one of the more beautiful things of Star Wars is exploring, seeing a whole fucking planet. I mean, at this point, we've seen every fucking square inch of Tatooine, right? Like picture if they just told you, like, all right, you're going to go from here to there. And it's just like, but bitch, it's just sand. Like, is there anything else of Tatooine I can look at?
That's a good example. It's like the way the Mandalorian set up, where there's different parts of Tatooine, and to get there, you use like the speed racer or whatever the thing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool. Or use a fucking those giant elephant thingies.
Yeah, I'm just saying I want them to open it up a little bit more. Because to me, the thing I've always been bothered about with Star Wars gaming is the whole premise of Star Wars is choosing your fate, right? So it's like, why have we never gotten an open world Star Wars game where I do have more freedom, right? Where it's not just I'm going to your, and essentially I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Knights of the Old Republic was that. You're absolutely right. But it wasn't technically open world. You were still being regulated to doing things. You just had more control of the overall story.
There is supposed to be an open world Star Wars game coming.
A lot of people rumored it was supposed to be Survivor.
I don't know if it's.
Oh, no, because I don't think they were the ones. Because Survivor's by Respawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
This one, it was a different studio. I can't remember.
Oh, then that might be the guys that are doing the
Uncharted one, the Uncharted people. I forgot.
Yeah, they might. Were they doing the one that just got pushed back? Eclipse.
No, was it Eclipse?
I don't know what.
Oh, it's Ubisoft.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Is the one that's.
What the hell game was that?
Ubisoft is doing it open world Star Wars game.
You don't remember Eclipse, Joel?
No, I said I forgot about that game.
Oh yeah, it was pushed back, and we've heard nothing about it. And they mentioned nothing at Celebration.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a announcement from Ubisoft. They're supposed to be doing an open world one.
Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I wonder what. So that's the thing. You're like, all right, so is it?
But nothing else is known other than that. They put out some job postings about it. I think that's the only reason why people know it's still being developed.
Like,
yeah, I kind of. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joel.
No, I remember when there was rumors of there being a Han Solo game, like for a long time. That was gonna be like Uncharted. I'm like, that would be fun. Like that sounds like a really fun game. I would
like an open world game where you're given an option between a bounty hunter, right? And it gives you an options of real bounty hunters, not you create your own character. I hate that shit. No. I'm in Star Wars, a world with a billion amazing characters. Wow. I don't want to be me. I want to be somebody that let me be Anakin. Let me be fucking the Mandalorian. Let me be Bo-Katan. Let me be Chewbacca.
I would love to be Din for whatever, right?
So I'm like, I would love to be Din. I would love to be Cad Bane. I would love to be Asajj Ventress. I would love to be Obi-Wan, Ahsoka. To me, that is a true open world where you're opening it up to characters we know of, right? And the story could be whatever you want it to be. It could take place in whatever time frame fits the character you're playing as. But just open it up. Like, there'd be nothing doper than being able to play as Din and getting in his ship, right? Getting in his ship and flying around.
That new ship. That's like a fucking car.
Yeah.
Dope,
I would love that. So to me, that's what I would like an open world game to be, because I'm telling you right now, I'm going to lose my shit. This open world game comes out and they're like, yeah, you can only play as you though. Bitch, I'm me every day. Like enough of that. I hate that so much. If you have a rich roster, let me play with the roster. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's what Knights of the Old Republic is too, though. You get to pick, you make your own character.
Yeah, and if that didn't have a great story, I would have talked shit about that game. Luckily, it was a really good story. But yeah, to me, that just bugs me. It's like buying 2K, and it's like, all right, bet. Let me play as the Knicks. And they're like, no, you get to create your own team and draft new players. Well, bitch, I'm trying to play as RJ. But you have the option to play as the actual
one that actually plays with the Knicks the way they are. Everyone else, like fantasy. That's not them. You're lying to yourself.
Hey, I can hope. Shit, and 2K gives me my opportunity to. I get to be a rational GM.
I'm just saying, you're contradicting.
All right.
Look, I get to be a rational GM that doesn't have to worry about players that are worrying about, New York's not cool enough. Bitch, you're coming here. How about that?
And now he gets to watch his former team play his new teammate's former team in the finals. But besides going into that.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. That's for damn sure. But Didge, I pass it over to you. How excited are you for Survivor?
Oh, I'm super excited. I loved Fallen Order.
Oh yes, so fun.
That game was so much fun. Plus I just love playing Star Wars games. Like I still play Battlefront 2 to this day. There's not a lot of people online who play it with, but when I get a chance to get into a game, I'm definitely excited about it.
Bro, they withered and died, bro. Like Battlefront 2 is all anyone was talking about, and then it was just like, go
It was just they made a dumb decision to stop supporting it after I think it was the Last Jedi was the last I think that was when they had their last like big update. And it's like you knew there was gonna
Rey and Finn and them.
They realized that like there's not much here.
But it's like you knew this is a trilogy. You can to be honest, the game, the mechanics and everything was still great. You could have just kept that one going. Like you could have just continuously released updates or whatever, added a couple more characters, whatever. Now I'd have still been keep playing it. So I say all that to say, like I said, I love playing different Star Wars games. There's nothing more fun than to be able to just be a Jedi. And other than the Force Unleashed, I think this has some of the best mechanics of being a Jedi in any game that I've played.
100%. Force Unleashed to me is still a classic throwback.
Oh my god!
Beautiful fucking playing game.
I don't know what something. You know what it is? It's the opposite of what Fallen Order was for me. Because like that, like everything Fallen Order, like I told you, everything I wanted, everything I thought I was gonna get was a Force Unleashed, and I didn't. I felt it was so clunky. I don't know. I just didn't hit.
Oh, I feel like those Force mechanics were
everything
so great.
was beautiful. Yes,
being like to see how you could visually see the stuff like when you were pulling it, you would visually see it start breaking down before it broke.
I forgot that was similar to that. I had everything. It looked like it was gonna be that, but it never did. I never played the sequel, and I wanted to because I'm like maybe it's better.
Oh my god, so much was beautiful.
I love
the sequel had some of the greatest DLC I've ever played for any fucking game. Where I get to go to Endor and murk Leia and Han, and Leia turns out to be a secret Jedi, and then I get to go kill Luke. Fucking epic. Where you become Galen Malik. You become Galen Malik. At that point it wasn't canon. At that point, none of that was canon. But yeah, you win, and then Vader sends you. Yeah, right. And then Vader sends you on a mission as Galen Malik instead of Starkiller. You got to go fight Leia. She's force trained and lightsaber trained, so that was difficult. She had a dual-sided lightsaber that was yellow.
Really?
It like I said, that might be my favorite Star Wars game ever. Still,
I'm with you. Yeah, 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
My favorite Star Wars game, aside from Fallen Order, I don't count that because it's too good. It's old school. I played like the prequel games. And I really, like I told you, Jedi Force Battles. I fucking love that game.
Revenge of the Sith, I put up there too.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith. You know what? Force Battles.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Before Revenge, because that came when I thought Jedi Force Battles was like Phantom Menace. That's when that game came out. Now Revenge of the Sith played a lot like Force Battles, but better. And it looked better, but you only really got to play with 2 characters. And I'm like,
because Revenge of the Sith, you get to play as multiple characters.
Yeah, because you were basically retelling the movie,
right?
Yeah, but I'm like, that's what I mean. You only really got to play with like Anakin and Obi-Wan. I'm like, I don't remember playing with anybody else.
No, I got to play as Mace Windu, Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, really. And then I think you get.
I didn't know you could play with Yoda. That's cool.
Yeah, you got to play as Yoda, and then when you did versus, like if you wanted to play your friend, you could use Darth Vader.
Right.
Darth Vader was playable.
It had an alternate ending that was cool too.
But that type of game is what Force Battles was, but better. Obviously.
Oh, okay.
It looked better, obviously, because Revenge of the Sith was more modern.
Oh, yes. I was wondering what you were saying. I was like,
Force
I like the alternate ending with the one that Anakin ends as Emperor.
Yes. Yep.
I was like, this is a cool ending.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what I loved about Revenge of the Sith and Force Unleashed, because they had alternate endings that were so satisfying. Like when you go to kill Vader and then your clone self comes out and murders you, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And you just don't get shit like that anymore. Like those 2 games to me are infinitely classics. I put 1 and 2. I group that. So that's 1 for me. 2 is Revenge of the Sith, and then it's Fallen Order. That's how I would rank it. And then Battlefront is.
Sorry, what was it?
I group Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I don't put 1 and 2 as 1 and 2. That's just as 1. And then Revenge of the Sith is 2, and then Fallen Order is 3.
3? Oh, you're mad.
Yeah. Look, if you gave me Revenge of the Sith right now, in Fallen Order right now, and say, here, you can only play 1, I'd be on Revenge of the Sith all fucking day. all fucking day.
Bless your
all
soul,
fucking
son.
day.
Bless your soul.
All fucking day. I mean, also, Joel, I'm biased. I get to play as Anakin fucking Skywalker. That's my guy. That's my guy. I also at the time, those were great mechanics for Revenge of the Sith and for Force.
At the time, but like we're finally at a point where you got what you know. That's what I'm saying. We're at a point like where I was disappointed with Force Unleashed. I finally got what I wanted in Jedi Fallen Order.
I still feel like some of the Force mechanics in Revenge or in the Force Unleashed were better than. Obviously, not saying that the Fallen Order wasn't great, but like I feel like I just to this day I remember trying to pull a door open and you see the door start to crumple before it actually opens.
Now, look, I'll say this. 15, 20, 25, 30 years from now, the epitome of Star Wars gaming will be looked at from Fallen Order, right? Fallen Order will be held as the shrine, right? But I view that the same way I view Grand Theft Auto. I understand that this most recent one is the shrine of Grand Theft Auto. It's not my favorite. My favorite will always be Vice City. Vice City will always be numero uno.
I wouldn't even put this new one second. I mean, it's gonna go Vice City, San Andreas, and those can flip flop depending on whichever. Oh, I love San Andreas.
I don't even like Grand Theft Auto, and I
wasn't a fan of San Andreas.
I love San Andreas.
Vice City, right, Joel?
Yeah, Vice City.
I love
Vice City was great, of course.
I love Vice City. So that's how I like
San Andreas. I don't like those games as much as you guys do, but Vice City, I don't know. Maybe because it hit me at a certain time in my life. It was like
everything about that fucking shit was beautiful. But that's how I look at Fallen Order, to where it's the epitome of Star Wars gaming. That's not to be ever questioned. It will go down as the epitome of Star Wars gaming. But to me, again, just looking back, Revenge of the Sith just hit so hard for me. And then where I wasn't really into Star Wars gaming, my dad brought home Force Unleashed. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like when I'm killing my first Jedi in that game, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is fucking bananas. This is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just loved it. And like you said, Didge, even when that large ass robot that's shooting the ice out, when you're taking shield from him, it's just like you feel that. Like it's I don't know, it hits so fucking hard. And there were elements of Fallen Order that I felt like the ability of the Force just didn't hit the same. But I'll never argue that one's a better game, but that doesn't make it my favorite. I'll never argue that it's a far superior game. But there was just elements of Force Unleashed that I favor more. I really do. And Revenge of the Sith to me is just nostalgia and the fact that I get to play as Anakin and Vader. That's my 2 and 3 in my top 5 Star Wars. So it's like, no. I wholeheartedly believe those are 2 separate entities.
Well, depending on what point in life,
for sure. So for me, like I said, it's not that anything's necessarily better, because I'll never argue if Joel's telling me that Fallen Order is better. No argument here. No argument here. But it doesn't mean it's my favorite. But logically, I can understand how.
Well, look, I'm praising Jedi power battles, bro. You serious? I understand.
Yeah, no. I get you for sure. It's just I really can't wait to see what new things they do with it. And I don't know. One thing I want them to work on, you got to do better with the whole Force is like an energy thing. So when it goes down, you got to kind of let it rebuild. Because there was nothing more frustrating to when I went to go use it, and he's like,
I mean, that's just the mechanics of the game.
No,
I don't.
Yeah,
I think
that.
that's. I don't know if you're gonna ever. I don't know if you're gonna ever not have that, because then it's just the game's too easy.
Right.
Because then
it comes down to having.
Then it's I'm going through the whole game and I'm just pushing everything. Just
fuck yeah.
Out of my way.
Yeah.
Out of my way.
Hell yeah. Yes, let's do it. How can we make that happen? Let that be a cheat code. Bring cheat codes back. Yes. Bring cheat codes back. Come on now. I want to play.
They would have talked about. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one thing as we're talking gaming, which I wish they would have talked about at all, was the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Because that's coming soon.
All I heard that is just it's still coming soon. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. I wish that was the one thing I wish they would have talked about.
That's it.
And I never played that game, so that's why I'm looking forward.
Oh, you are in for
it's great.
fun.
That's why once everyone's like, "Oh,
fucking-
play it," but I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for the HD remake of it, and I'll play it then. Like,
And mostly because, as we get into our next topic,
oh,
this is a show that I very much was just like, I don't give a fuck about. I never will give a fuck about because they're not going to do the things I want. Shout out to the showrunner of Acolyte telling me I'm about to get everything I've ever wanted in that show. She said she's taking from different eras of Star Wars and blending it. Bitch, I could get Malgus in this motherfucker.
Actually, I said Visions earlier because I know for sure that that's coming next year.
Right.
Acolyte might be my most excited one.
And what I got the most excited for is she said the thing she always pondered was, you see the start of Phantom Menace, and there was a Sith right underneath the Jedi nose that they never fucking sniffed out. She said, I want to dive into that. I want to dive into how someone can become into power, and the Jedi are just none the wiser.
She said
so
that means lean heavily into legends,
and legends, yes.
Like,
so you know when she said that, you know the first thing I thought, right? Dark Plagueis the Wise.
Oh, for sure.
That is all I've ever wanted
sure.
from that fucking show. That's all I ever wanted.
Sure.
That's all I ever wanted.
I assumed that was a given.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
all I ever wanted.
That's a given.
And here's the crazy thing. Every Star Wars fan was going crazy about who could be in it. Guess what's the one thing no one gave a shit about? And she didn't even really highlight that much. The main fucking character. Like, she talked about the lore that she was bringing in. Not once did she tell us more about this woman that we're about to get as our main character. And guess what?
That is true.
She's smart, because guess what we don't give a fuck about? Your main character. We want to hear more about your lore. Like, what are the essences of you're bringing in? You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's genius. That's genius. You know what I'm here for.
This is easily the one that I'm the most excited about. Like I said, the reason I said Visions earlier, because I know when that's coming out. I have no idea when this is coming.
I assume sometime late next year, but go ahead, Joel. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think that's a lot of what happens these days, is that they'll announce something that's about something we don't really give a shit about, because who's your main character? It's either it's a new character we've never heard of, or it's like they're trying to make that character popular. So how do you sell people? You sell people with people we've heard of, or people like what you were saying, like old legend shit that you bring into now can become canon. It's 100 years in the past. You have a lot of wide open space. Now they've been hyping up High Republic for the longest time now. It's in the comic books. There's a High Republic comic book. There's a lot of lore they've already set up in the comic books that people have probably not read. Some people probably have. I'm not saying they haven't.
Right.
But
most of the people haven't. You're absolutely
right. And the only character that we know of that are alive at the time is Yoda and maybe a younger Palpatine. Right. So
Plagueis.
She specifically said most of these characters are not alive right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you don't have. That
was good to see.
Yeah. Even though she was saying she's going to show how the Sith could rise to power without the Jedi knowing, I'm like, but Palpatine, that was Palpatine's idea. That was all Palpatine's baby. That wasn't Plagueis' idea. That was Palpatine's idea. So I'm like, well, if this is 100 years before Phantom Menace, he was 50 during Phantom Menace. So I'm like, it means he can't be in it. And if he is, he's no older than what? Very young. Very, very, very young. So I'm like, 100 years was really weird to me that they went 100 years.
Was it 100? Was it 100?
It's definitely 100 years before Phantom Menace. 100 years.
Okay. Well, no, I was gonna say, was it 100 years before original? Was it 100 years before the original Star Wars? That's what I was gonna ask.
No,
it was
Phantom
Menace.
Phantom Menace.
I didn't know if it was before A New Hope or not.
No, before Phantom Menace. So I'm like, this is very confusing, because I'm like, to infiltrate the Senate was Palpatine's concept. Palpatine came up with that. And he had the wisdom to pull it off. But the main reason why I want to see Dark Plagueis the Wise isn't just to see Dark Plagueis the Wise. It's to see how close Palpatine truly got to him before killing him. Like, that's what I want to see. Because you essentially approach, and I know I always compare things to this, but you essentially approach that timeline essentially like The Godfather, right? To where Palpatine is 100% the Don. No, I'm sorry. You're right.
Plagueis.
Yes.
Michael.
Plagueis is the Don, is what I meant. I'm sorry. Plagueis is the Don, and it's very much just like it's someone that's not seeing how the future is ready to take him out, right? So he's so susceptible. He doesn't see Palpatine coming. And when it happens, it's done. There is no wind up. Palpatine kills him like that. So I want to see that, and then I want to see the rise of Palpatine. That would be way more interesting than what they're selling me. So now I'm like, okay, now you're selling me on the lore. So what characters can I get? You know what I'm saying? Because Darth Malgus can't be around. There's no way Plagueis would have himself and Palpatine with a fucking Malgus out there. So I'm like, how much of this lore are you leaning into, and how many characters can I see that would fit in this timeline?
How many of them were made canon during Clone Wars? I know they mentioned a couple of them, right?
What do you mean, like Plagueis? Plagueis the Wise is super canon.
I know that, but I'm talking about the ones that showed up like in spirit. Remember what Yoda, the whole spirit mission at the end before?
Oh yes, in season 5, yes, season 5 or 6.
One of them.
I'm not sure because I feel like they mentioned Bane.
Bane is.
I feel like you have to mention Bane. He's a creator.
Revan is.
Bane.
I don't know if Nihilus
How many years is that though?
I don't know if Malgus is. That predates
Malgus
that.
wasn't
Yeah.
Malgus
that
wasn't.
predates that. Malgus wasn't, which breaks my heart.
Naga Sadao was.
Nihilus wasn't. We know that for sure.
No, Nihilus wasn't.
Nihilus wasn't. I don't know. There's not many, Joel. There's not many big
Those
names.
are really the three. Those are the three that I can. Those are the three that I can remember.
And they weren't around during the 100 years ago.
No, they were around before then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were around before then because Bane was the creator. Yeah, Bane created the rule of 2.
Yes.
And then Revan was around during the Knights of the Old Republic thing.
Right.
Okay.
And then Naga Sadao was. I couldn't even tell you. I can't remember.
So a lot of these Sith that you're asking, Joel, predate where Acolyte is supposed to be.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out who might be around. Like again, I there's a lot of them that have been already in the comic books, whatever ones they've introduced there, but I haven't really been. I've read some of the issues, but I didn't see any Sith at the time.
Here we go. Every Sith Lord made canon by Disney. I guess I could have just clicked this.
There we go. Let's hear it.
So, like we said, Naga Sadao, Exar Kun.
Okay.
Revan, Desolus, Darth Desolus. I didn't know that. Darth Phobos. We said Bane already. And is it Tenebrous? I've never pronounced that.
Yes, you're right.
And then Dedu.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so not my favorite Sith all time.
None of the ones that I don't think any of them.
Which is weird because the footage they just showcased for that Knights of the Old Republic was more Malgus.
Yeah.
But they won't make him fucking canon. It's driving me crazy. Like, stop promoting him because you know how dope he is, but you don't want to make him canon. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Well,
I don't
it
understand.
seems like a lot of what they did was they like the very far back history. Like that's sort of what they went with, not necessarily stuff that are leading close to around this time.
Yeah.
Where the shows and the movies are. I think because they kind of want to be able to shape that more.
Which is fine, but just greenlight them. Like shit, shape it all you want. Just greenlight them.
For sure.
That's all I ask for. Just greenlight them. I'm like, Malgus is like.
I'm actually
I can't even
shocked
really
that Malgus wasn't.
Well, I know why they don't want to lead with Malgus because Malgus looks too much like Vader.
He does look like Vader without the helmet.
Looks exactly like Vader. And Joel, not even that, because remember, when he gets sliced in his mouth, he has to wear the mouthpiece.
He has the little mask
that makes him look even more like Vader. So I'm like, I get that. I do, but to me, just don't slice him up, and you can change his attire. Because again, Malgus came before. Well, not before Darth Vader, but you know. Timeline wise, he came before.
Even if you keep it the same, you can retcon it to be this is sort of why Vader looks the way he looks, because Palpatine wanted his apprentice to emulate Malgus.
Or you know what? I would have no issue with this. whoever wants to take on the new generation of Star Wars, have Malgus be your big bad.
Yeah.
Have Malgus be your big bad. I would not hate that
It was
at
the
all.
Third Galactic War, right? Great War. That's when he was out.
Yes. Yeah.
So what year? When was that?
Oh God, Jesus. Oh man.
What's also interesting with that is I could have sworn the Old Republic was canon. I like the fact that because that game's still going on.
That's my point. But they refuse to make that man canon.
About that. Like,
they refuse to give him canon rights. I don't get it. I don't get it.
When the new one comes out, they'll be more accepting of. Hey,
well, no, the Old Republic is not the Knights of the Old Republic. The Old Republic is the PC, the MMO RPG.
Right.
That's going on.
Empire, New Emperor.
Still going on. Like I said, I could have sworn I just saw them talking about a new expansion pack like not too long ago.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It stresses me. Let's move on. We got our first trailer for Andor. We found out that Andor will be 12 episodes this year, 12 episodes next year, and the final episode of the second season will end right where Rogue One begins. Again, my only interest in this is seeing more of Saw Gerrera. That's really it. I don't. Outside of that, I don't really care. Rogue One is definitely.
Rogue One.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love that movie. No, I was gonna say I love Rogue One. I love that movie. But I don't know if I needed anything outside of it, like to lead me into the movie. It was great existing on its own.
Right. And that took a lot of willpower. Like I told you why I went into that movie, Didge. I went into that movie because I heard the name Star Killer. So I'm like, oh shit, they're making them canon. Only to sit there to go, man, what kind of bullshit is that? That ain't Star Killer. What is this? And then it turned out the movie was really freaking good. But they tricked me to get me in there. That's
Star Killer was Luke's original name too, was it not?
Was what?
Was the original name, wasn't it? Over Skywalker was Star Killer.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I was hoping like, oh shit, like is he canon now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was this the original design? Like, what's happening here? And then you watch it and you're just like, no, they just, you know, that's his name because, you know, he helps, you know, design these ships that kill planets. And I'm just like, oh, what? No, I don't like any of that. But I do hope to see an Andor more Saw Gerrera. That's really what I'm looking forward to the most. Outside of that, cool. Whatever this show turns out to be, I'll watch it and I'll judge it appropriately. But Joel, are you excited for Andor?
Yes. Again, it's another thing where I'm like, I don't really care about Andor necessarily specifically, but I am excited at what story there is to tell and what characters may appear. You know, because I enjoyed the character, not enough for me to want to see a spinoff. But it is, you know, I'm just being real.
We completely agree.
Who really was asking for an Andor spinoff?
Not a soul.
But it's definitely during a time in between Rebels and like Rogue One, which obviously leads into New Hope. So literally that 5-year gap, you're gonna probably have Andor, which will probably lead up, like they said, it's gonna lead up into Rogue One. So we get to see it live action, whereas in Rebels we kind of saw it in animated form. And we'll probably see an offshoot of it, whereas we get to see a different side of the rebellion through Andor's eyes, you know?
Right. Cassian Andor.
Cassian.
Yeah. Look, God bless your heart, Andor. I hope you're great. I really do. But
yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna watch and everything. You know, I'm not gonna go into oh, I hate this, but it's just I was like, this one could have been kept in the chamber.
100%. This could have been a comic book. But anyway,
hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's that good.
I pray so. You're gonna need to be. You're gonna need to be. If I'm getting 20-something episodes with no lightsabers, you better be the fucking Grand Poobah. That's all I can say. But we finally got word that John Watts' Star Wars project. Executive producers will be Christopher Ford, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is the name to look out for in those names said there. But John Watts reveals his Star Wars project is called Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It will follow a group of kids who accidentally get lost in the Star Wars galaxy, and they are trying to find their way home. Sounds eerily similar to a few episodes out of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where Ahsoka was helping some Padawans get home. So that's why I said it is very possible that these aren't just regular kids. These might be Force-sensitive babies. But here's the most interesting part. It takes place during the timeline of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka, which is also really interesting. And then the thing that brought me in the most is no kids were named yet, which is like, all right, that's weird, but Jude Law's in it. So great. Like, you telling me the premise is about kids, but your first casting was Jude Law. Look, I love Jude Law like the next guy. I'm not arguing. But I thought it was very weird. Thank you. I thought it was very weird that you didn't just tell us who the kids are. Like, how'd you not cast the kids yet?
Yeah, I thought I just missed it. Like, I at least thought they would have named one.
Not in there one, Didge.
4 kids and not one was named.
Not one kid was named. They were just like, all right, what can I sell this on? Jude Law. Jude Law. There you go. Jude Law, guys. And we also have no idea who Jude Law's playing.
Did you hear how it was pitched to Lucasfilm?
No.
They said John Watts pitched it as Goonies in Star Wars.
I love that.
Which to a lot of people sounds freaking awesome. And that's why, yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it as a bad thing. I was just like, that's an interesting way to pitch something.
That's a great way to pitch it. To them, they were just like,
yeah, that's a
good I would have, all right, I would have moved it along. All right, well,
how quickly can you make this?
Too curious. Those kids are just too damn curious. That's basically what happened.
Right.
They were Stranger Things before Stranger Things.
Right. And now we're talking about Stranger Things on crack, because there's a possibility these kids might be Force sensitive.
Right.
So it's like, well, shit, picture 411s. Right? Like,
they could be
now
Force
you're getting a whole
this is also
thing.
a time where the Jedi just came back. Like Luke is currently the only. I mean, you still have Ahsoka out there at that point.
Yeah, but
no,
just because
Jedi existed.
We're just saying I don't necessarily have to be Padawans. They're just Force sensitive.
Yeah, just Force. No. I don't need all 4 of them to be. I was just joking. I'm fine if 2 of them are. I don't need it to be 1, because then you're just doing Stranger Things in space. More than one of them should be Force sensitive, and then the others can be whatever you want them to be. But it does need to be some kind of Force sensitive, because that is awesome. The idea
you would hope at least one of them is.
For sure. Don't make this fucking movie if not one of them are.
One of them has to be. It's a series thought.
Oh, series, because it says streaming. Yeah. It comes out next year.
I'm excited.
You have to make one of them Force sensitive though. Like, there's no.
I would hope, yeah,
for sure. And the only reason I believe a kid has not yet been casted is they're looking for at least one really big name, for one of these kids. Because again, it says kids. I'm not made to believe what kids means. What age group that classifies.
Young adults, so not teenagers, just maybe just before teenage range, I guess.
So like between 10 and 13?
Just like what the Stranger Things kids were in the beginning.
Well, they were season 1, 10 to 13. 1.
Yeah, 10 to 13. No, wait, if you're talking specifically season 1, they were like 10. They were supposed to be like 10.
Yeah, so I was around at that age.
Okay, all right, I'm cool with that. Cool with that.
Because even Goonies they were around 12. 13 like that.
Yep. So I'm totally cool with that. I can't wait to see how John Watts utilizes this. I can't wait to see what was going on in his brain for him to go, I can't do Fantastic Four. I'm gonna do Skeleton Crew. So I'm curious. I really am. Because I can tell you this right now. Off the strength of this, I have no fucking interest. But the way he pitches it, it sounds really pretty cool. So I'm interested. And you told me Jude Law's in it. I'm a sucker for Jude Law.
Villain? I'm curious.
No, the way people there were making it sound was that he was who was trying to help get them home. So I'm like, well, shit, I'll even take it if none of them are Force sensitive, but Jude Law is. I'm fine with that. Like, he's the guy trying to get them home, and he's the only Force sensitive one. I'm okay with that. Somebody in that Skeleton Crew better be Force sensitive. That's all I'm saying. That's my only requirement. But Didge, what are your thoughts on the Skeleton Crew?
like you said, when they said Jude Law was coming, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna check it out. I was like, I don't have any more information, but I'll check it out. You know,
I love Jude Law. I don't know what to say. I love Jude Law. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So what else stands out to you, Didge?
Well, with that series specifically, now hearing how it was pitched, I'm really interested because I like Goonies, but like Goonies in space is a wild concept. To just say this is Goonies in space, it's like, what does that exactly mean? So I'm interested in that. So like I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for more information. I'm glad it's coming out next year, which even though that could mean December of next year, like they just literally said 2023. But overall, we're eating good in Star Wars fans right now. Like, we're getting some great stuff coming.
Yes, sir.
And here's the crazy part. You ready for this crazy part? We still got to end the year on Marvel.
Yep.
Where Feige tells us more about Marvel, and Fandom, where we hear more about DC. We about to eat fucking glorious.
Yep. Like it's a good time.
Hours, man, because they only gave us one trailer. I mean, did they give us any trailer?
Yeah, they technically gave us the Andor trailer.
Andor and Bad Batch.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they teased us what they did.
Everything else was leaked.
But to be fair, only reason we got those two is because one comes out in 2 or 3 months. The other one comes out like a month or two after that.
Yeah, I think
everything else
comes
out
in
Andor comes out in August.
And Bad Batch will be either September or October. Everything else is next year.
So we're gonna run into that again. The situation of the 2 on Wednesdays, because She-Hulk will still be in its run when Andor comes out.
That's fine. Because here's the thing: there's no competition between the two. I'm starting with She-Hulk every fucking week. But my only frustration was you giving me Kenobi and Miss Marvel. Those are two of my most anticipated of the year.
It's still going to be weird from their end. From their end, we got these 2 huge fan bases that are essentially gonna.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously there's some overlap, but they're going to be competing.
They still never said it. That's so stupid.
No, I didn't. Again, I'm not arguing the logic of it. I'm arguing for me personally. I was saying you putting Kenobi and Miss Marvel up against each other, like Joel said, it's hard to dodge 2 sets of spoilers, right?
Yeah, it's hard enough.
For me, when She-Hulk and Andor come out, there's nothing you can spoil me on in Andor because I don't really care about the show. It's the She-Hulk shit that I'm going to have to fucking dodge like Neo until I'm able to fucking watch it, right? So that for me personally, that's where the stress comes in. That's where I'm just like, well, fuck. Really, guys? Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on. And knowing me, I'm going to click whatever is the first banner to pop up. So like when 3 a.m. comes around, if it's She-Hulk that pops up first, I'll click it. Andor pops up first, I'll click it. Good chance I'm falling asleep on the other. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. So that's when I'm going to be fucked by. When I wake up, Twitter's just like, guess what? Fucking Daredevil was seen backflipping in the opening credits. Like, fuck. I knew I should have started with She-Hulk this week. Like,
right.
Why did I do Andor?
Forrest Whitaker is going to reprise this role. Okay, cool.
That's what I said. That's all I'm looking forward to. Saw Gerrera.
I thought you were saying like you hope that he's going to. I didn't realize that he was already announced to be. That's cool.
My guy. That's my guy.
Respirator Saw Gerrera.
Maybe not.
5 years. It's not like at that point.
We don't know what I don't remember if Rogue One told us what happened.
I don't think he had it in Rebels. I mean in Fallen Order.
He didn't.
He didn't have it in Fallen Order, I don't think. So
no, he did not. Because remember,
that was not in 9 years.
He didn't have a cane that he needed 14. Also.
Yeah, true. Right.
He was much younger in Fallen Order.
We're talking back 15 years though.
Right. Right. All right. Let's move on. That's pretty much all of Star Wars. Oh, no. Shit. Bad Batch. Oh, yeah. Bad Batch. Look. Filoni, man, enough. I say this all the time. You got to stop just delivering gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? No, because at this point, no, not one singular person should not be that blessed to give me that much gold back to back to back to back to back. Okay, enough, Filoni. I already got to suffer
Keep 'em
with this
coming.
shit with Kevin Feige. Enough out of you. Okay, make
I
one
say
bad
keep 'em
project.
coming.
When's the next
joking.
animated?
I know.
The next
Not another
animated
one.
series.
That's how good it is.
Joel's like, what can come out that very next month? Can you drop something else? No, but we actually do have that, Joel. It's called Young Jedi Adventures.
Oh
Right.
yeah, that does come out.
But that's
Isn't that
spring of next year.
like a kid's show.
It would be
Yeah.
it's Bad Batch. So it's gonna go Andor, Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one.
Then it's gonna
Mando,
okay. Then
Mando, Ahsoka,
Mando, Ahsoka,
and then
then
this.
okay.
Those are live action though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
another animated thing after Bad Batch. That's not the child show.
Well, Tales of the Jedi will be animated.
Yes,
Right.
yes. That I do
Yeah.
look forward to. Yes.
But Bad Batch, man, look, y'all are killing it. Y'all are killing it with this shit, man. Bad Batch, and you did the one thing, Dave Filoni, I had been begging you for. You brought in the Republic Commandos. I never thought I would see Dave Filoni bring in the Commandos. We got the Commandos back. I love it. I love that Omega looks older, looks wiser, looks more trained. Right. Now, my biggest question coming out of this, and by the way, us seeing, first of all, so Didge, we were joking about this, Didge and Joel, we were joking about this Saturday, but shout out to Palpatine being the first ever Karen. And what I mean by that is Palpatine for sure constructed this entire war, right? Almost died by the hands of Mace Windu, then has the fucking nerve to get up to the podium and go, y'all, I was attacked. They almost killed me. Can y'all believe this? We got to unite and eradicate the Jedi. And the whole galaxy was just like, yeah, let's take out them Jedi. And Palpatine was just like, they have no idea I set all this shit up. Like, I conducted all of it.
That's
such
hilarious.
politics,
It is so
you know?
true.
But that's why I'm saying Palpatine was the first ever Karen. It was Palpatine Karen, and that's what laid the groundwork for all these other Karens. But what I'm really looking forward to in this series that I kind of only saw a little bit of in this trailer is what life path does Crosshair walk?
I wonder, because we didn't see a lot of him, did we?
That's
No,
true.
we saw a lot of Crosshair. He was just working for the other side.
No, I meant like in the trailer. I don't remember.
Oh, no. There was one or two shots of him in the trailer in different looking armor. But he very much told his brothers at the end of the day. He told his brothers go watch it real quick, Didge. He told his brothers at the end of last season, I love you, but I can't go with you. My path is to walk he needs structure. And his structure is you got to do A, B, C, and D. And he's saying he can't work outside of that. So he has to find his own path. But it very much ended in a way to where I don't think they'll be enemies necessarily going forward, but they're definitely not brothers still. As far as the rest of them with Crosshair.
With Omega.
Yeah. Omega. I love how she fucking says that. Oh my God. But I'm very much looking forward to see how this all gels. Obviously, my main man Rex is back, looking youthful as hell. Love to see Rex. Love seeing Rex, man. That's the OG trooper right there, man. But Joel, I'll pass it to you first, man. I know how much we enjoyed Bad Batch together, man. How excited are you for season 2?
I'm super excited for season 2. I love the Bad Batch. I miss the Bad Batch. It's Star Wars, it's finally like another thing where I'm like, I don't have Jedi in it, and I still love it. Like the Mandalorian. So I appreciate when you can make me love Star Wars, and I don't need a lightsaber to make me excited. So I appreciate that. You don't need a Jedi all the time, and we've always gotten that at least. But if you can tell a story within the Star Wars world and still get me excited with clone troopers now, and like a certain batch of them, like I love teams. So the fact that you created a team of like a bad batch of clones that are working now with this little girl who's a clone as well, on a different type of clone. I love it. I love all about it. And the first season was awesome. There was a lot of cool cameos, and it takes place right after Order 66. So it's like right on the heels of it. I look forward to seeing what other stories can be told and who else shows up and who else they interact with, and what eventually what happens to them in the future, because we just don't know. But
right,
very cool. I do love the the Bad Batch as a group.
Yeah. To me, the writing for season 1 was just so superb. I rewatched that the other day. My Bad Batches actually came in the mail, Joel. Echo just came in the mail.
Oh, nice.
Got Echo. Fucking
Echo.
love Echo.
Echo.
Wrecker came in the mail.
Oh, Wrecker. I love Wrecker.
Wrecker came in the mail. Also
Lovable.
I got, and you know, Joel, Omega.
Man, I need to get to know the new Omega.
I do.
The
Omega does
armor.
come with her crossbow though, so that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Got Tech.
Tech. That's my man, Tech.
Got Tech. And this is my favorite one.
Too.
Say it again.
I love how different they all look too, and they're all the same looking.
The same looking thing. Yep.
But they're just because they're a Bad Batch. They kind of look enough different. But which I appreciate, you know.
And the one I love the most because I love that they made this figure with this specific suit, Crosshair.
There's
Nice.
are we missing someone?
Yeah, Hunter. You want to know why I'm missing Hunter?
Yeah,
Because
why?
everywhere across the world has Hunter listed for $99.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It's all
yeah.
that's how it always is though. It'll be one random
that's
figure
probably the most
in a
popular
group that's
one.
just like you're gonna be the most expensive.
No, it's not that he's the most popular,
Most
Joel.
popular.
Unfortunately, the Hunter model came out a year or two ago. So certain retailers aren't still selling them because it's an older figure. Wrecker was released towards the end of last year. Echo is brand new. I want to say Tech was mid last year, but that's just, you look at Tech and you go, I could see how the world isn't, running down to get Tech. And then Omega is relatively new also. So that's why those were easier to find for like $20. But yeah, as long as they're talking about almost $100 for one figure, if you tell me 100 for 4, we can talk. 100 for
Right.
1,
It gets rough.
Hunter better hunt for me. When I'm hungry, that motherfucker better go outside, kill a fox or a bear or some shit, bring some meat home.
I saw a hot toy thing for Hunter, and I saw a hot toy for was it Echo? I think it was Echo.
Echo to me is my favorite design. Like his mask is super dope. It has the snap in the back, and his hand is removable. So where you have his
dope.
Yeah,
I do like that. His
I really love
interchangeable arms.
Yeah, and he comes with his little blaster too.
Yeah,
I really
they have
love
a hot
that.
toy. Yeah, they have a hot toys for Echo and Hunter, which obviously they look cool.
Those characters are freaking epic. Yeah, so that's pretty much all we got for Star Wars. Now we're gonna get into a few more things before we get out of here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson tells us that a Black Adam trailer will be coming next week.
Oh yeah, on the day.
Wouldn't that be this week? Didn't he say that?
Next week? It's June 8th.
Oh, I could've-
He said June 8th.
Oh, did he say? Okay.
Specifically, yeah.
That's what his Instagram says. Because I'm with you, Didge. I said it to my dad this morning. I'm like, I swear to God, someone told me tomorrow.
Yeah,
And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I saw tomorrow, but I went to The Rock's Instagram. It says the 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, fingers crossed he was lying.
Right. Right.
Fingers crossed. Shit, I don't want to wait.
The way he's hyping this, it's like
I hope so. I'm super excited.
I'm ready to see it.
Yeah, and Joel, I'll go to you first because I know how much of the other elements of this movie mean to you. I'm not saying you're not interested in Black Adam, but that JSA.
I'm all for the fucking justice. Oh, again, another fucking example of I don't give a fuck about Black Adam. But guess what? I do when you say JSA are in it. Like when they said Hawkman was in it, I was like, I'm fucking sold. You know what I mean? But like I'm being real. Like I don't have no disrespect to Black Adam, the character of Black Adam. I just who the fuck asked for that? Like, but because first of all he's a villain, or at least he was a villain. Now he's gonna be an anti-hero. Right. But the point is, Black Adam is not the main character. It's Shazam, right? Shazam's the main character. And Black Adam was like the antithesis. And so, when I heard about it, the first thing that gets you attracted to the project isn't at Black Adam. It's The Rock is going to be Black Adam. So that's really what draws you in at first. So I'm like, yeah, I'm excited because it's The Rock playing Black Adam. But like, once they said Hawkman was in it, and then they said Fate was in it, and then I'm like, oh, a version of the Justice Society was in it. I'm like, oh, well, I'm fucking sold. So they're gonna try to introduce the Justice Society. Who knows where that could become if this movie is good.
Right.
That's where I'm there. That's what I'm there for. Like, I can't wait till like we get like the products start, like toys start, like we get the hot toys and like figures for these things. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's Black Adam figures, Hawkman figures, Fate figures, and like what like I think they had Atom Smasher and Cyclone, and whoever else they might pop up that they're not telling us about. You know, that's another thing. Like, what elements are they not telling us?
Right.
So I'm really excited, mainly because of obviously everything other than Black Adam. But that's not to say I'm not excited to see The Rock play Black Adam.
Ooh, excuse me. Thank you. Oh fuck, shit, that hurt my chest, crazy. But I'm completely with you. Main reason why is when the world started to build around The Rock, where this Black Adam could become more of a tangible thing than just him saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I'm like, well, this is perfect. You introduced Shazam, it was a hit. People love Henry Cavill. Just do it. Fire off. Give us Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam. Just do it. Make it an event film so it's no one's. It doesn't go into anyone's trilogy, right? So it's not a Superman sequel. It's not a Shazam sequel. You can just make it more so as like an event film, right? Where you're hyping up Black Adam as this big bad. You're getting equal time with Shazam and Superman, where Superman can kind of lift Shazam up as like this prodigy, right? And then it was just like, nah, man, The Rock wants to do a Black Adam solo. Like, and who signed off on that? Like, who sat there and said, yeah, no, he pitched it to us. He told us how.
Talk about having swing, like where I'm like, you pick something. We want you to do whatever the fuck you want.
Was
And
he the
he
one that
sat
pitched
there
it
and said,
originally?
Green Lantern or Black Adam?
What'd you say, Didge?
Was he the one that pitched it originally?
Yes.
I didn't
It
know
was an
that.
option. That's what it was.
Wait,
Like,
are you saying to be Black Adam or to do a solo?
To do a solo.
That was his idea.
Yeah, that was after the
Okay.
fact.
That was his
Okay.
idea.
Once he decided I'm gonna be
100%.
Black Adam, I'm like, I want my own movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Because here's how you know it was his idea. There's no way you're telling me that when David signed on to do Shazam, he didn't sign on thinking it was a possibility he could use Black Adam. When he heard, no, he wants to do his own movie. He's like, well, fuck me then, right? All right, well, let's see what I can pull out my ass for.
how do you have one without the other? Though?
I
Yeah,
looked
exactly.
it up. So it said that he literally met with DC, and after Shazam was coming out, he was like, "No, split it to 2 films."
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, that's amazing pull.
That's why
That's cool.
that's why I just said there's no way when David signed on, he thought he wasn't getting Shazam and Black Adam. So The Rock came in, put his Johnson on the table, and said, "I want my own."
No
They
pun
were just
intended.
like, all right, well, shit, David can't say no to him, so he's got it. You know, because remember,
You know what it is? It's also a different studio. Technically, it is Warner Brothers because it's under New Line. He gets more sway. You know what I mean?
yes, he does. Yep. So unfortunately, we have to sit through a Black Adam movie. I believe it's gonna be great. Don't get me wrong. It's like Andor. It's like Andor. It's gonna be great. But did I need it?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I need you
I don't
here.
know. But like
How
I
can-
said, bro,
How can
I
we
never
strip
thought
it? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joel.
I thank The Rock for giving me a live action Hawkman.
I was just about to say, Joel, how can we strip this to where we can get a JSA movie that features Black Adam? Like,
Yeah.
how can we flip that script?
how can we ride that fucking bus?
Right. But yeah, Didge. I always love it when people find out things for the first time, and you finding out that The Rock could just slam his Johnson on the table.
It's just
hilarious.
insane to me because I remember already being confused when Shazam first came out, and them saying like, "Well, we want to tell the story of Black Adam before we bring him in for the sequel." And I was like, all right, whatever. It's weird, but whatever. And then when the sequel came out, I'm like, all right, so what's going on here? Or not when it came out, when the sequel was announced, rather. Like, what's going on here? And then now to hear this, like, okay, it all makes sense. what's really going on here is The Rock was like, listen, I get that, I get you got plans, but I'm The Rock. That was it.
Yeah. That's you just had the pitch meeting. That was it. That was it. I was like, hey Rock. He's like, hey Rock, how you doing? You here to talk about the Shazam script? He's like, no. I don't, don't get me wrong, I'd love to hear about it, but I'm here to pitch you Black Adam script. And they're like, I'm really confused here. Like, I thought you were supposed to be in Shazam. And he's like, nah, changed my mind. Yesterday, decided I want my own movie. Make it work.
That's another thing. Like,
okay.
It's a character, like, who the fuck grew up a Black Adam fan? Like that. Like a big fan of Black Adam. I'm like, well, you know what? I don't like to say never. Weird shit happens. Look at Elvis fucking Presley. Loved Shazam Jr., Captain Marvel Jr. so much. He started wearing that stupid cape. Yep. Like, he loves Freddie Freeman that much. And look, Junior, not Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel Jr. So never stay. The weirdest shit can happen. You grow up with a certain character, you love him. That is what it is. So like, I can't. I don't want to question it, but that's a weird thing.
It's a very weird thing. It's very weird because it's one of those things to where it's just like, all right, now what happens if it doesn't work? You've now fucked over the JSA. They'll become fucked over by proxy, right? Yeah. So now it's just like, well, now you're possibly dragging down other things that we actually do want more of.
All right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because look, we're living in a world, and again, it's a whole new regime. I completely understand that. But even in this new regime, I still don't have a motherfucking Hal Jordan, John Stewart. I don't have it.
Doesn't exist.
Don't have it. So it's like, and that was how long ago? And we still don't have nothing about it. So to me, I'm now very, very scared of what happens when you don't succeed. Does it go to the basement? Do you try to loop it in with something else? Or do we just never see these things again? Because the first thing me and Joel were saying to each other was, if this movie's a hit, we're not worried about where else we'll see Black Adam. We're worried about now, can we get spinoffs of these individual characters for like maybe an HBO Max series of some of these characters? Like, how can you expand on the JSA, right? Because to me, here's the thing. Majority of the mainstream audience has no idea who the JSA are. They know the individual members maybe, but not the team as a whole, right?
Maybe.
So I'm like, if you're Warner Discovery and this movie's a shit can, you're thinking to yourself, well, they didn't have interest in Black Adam or these characters, so I don't need to bring them back. And it's like, no. Don't do that again. Don't do that again, okay? Please just put them somewhere else. That's it. You don't have to give them their own projects. Just put them somewhere else. And put Black Adam where he belongs, in a fucking Shazam movie, okay? There you go. Problem solved.
I just hope it's good enough to the point where that it happened. Look, he made fucking Jungle Cruise good.
I still to this day say I love that movie way more than I thought I would. Yeah, I thought I would fall asleep.
It was good.
It's really good. So much so, I was just like, did they greenlight a sequel yet? They did. I'm excited. I want to see more.
Jungle Cruise.
I won't hide it. I won't hide it. I won't hide it. I love that movie. So look, again, we hope it does well. We support it, but not for the reasons most would. We just want the JSA.
I don't want to lose these characters. I don't want this to be the last time I see Hawkman on Didge.
Right. And you got really good actors to portray these JSA characters. Yes. I would like to see them stay on as their specific.
I would love a JSA spinoff, please, God, please.
I'm just saying, we don't ask for much. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm putting out there in the cosmos. But Didge, are you excited? You excited for this Black Adam movie?
I'm excited for how excited The Rock is. The way that he is promoting, and the way his Instagram is going with this, I'm like, man, this movie's either gonna be fucking amazing or it's going to be that bad, and he's just delusional.
You know what's hilarious about how you said that? That's like when that's like when someone brings over their newborn and they're like, they're adorable, aren't they? And you're like, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just like, wait, you don't sound no, yeah, sure. He's just like, okay, you're bullshitting. It's like, yeah, I am, but goddamn, that's how you just said. Like, I'm happy for The Rock, not the movie.
I don't.
The Rock,
like you've been saying. It's literally like you've been saying. Who asked for a Black Adam solo film?
You know what? Can we go a step further? Who asked for Black Adam? Right? Just Black Adam. Who asked for that character?
I would have wanted to see him in Shazam.
Sure,
Yeah.
but till we knew we were even getting. Remember, we had Black Adam before Shazam was even talked about.
Did wait, no.
Yes.
Let me go look at this timeline again. Wait a minute.
Didge,
Bro,
trust me.
He was deciding between should I be the Green Lantern or should I be fucking Black Adam? And he chose once he became Black Adam, and his part of the universe became a thing.
Joel, let's time out. Let's add some salt to this. You ready? You ready, Didge? And Joel, you can back me on this, especially if I'm wrong. You can back me. You can correct me. He was Black Adam, Didge, before we had an established DCEU. So he was casted as a character way back then, and we're now getting the movie. So think about that. He was casted around the time Man of Steel, BVS, right? Before an official established DCEU, that motherfucker was Black Adam.
That's crazy.
So that's why I say, who asked for Black Adam? You're talking about, I'll take him in a Shazam movie. There was no mention of a Shazam at all.
There was thought that he might be both Shazam and Black Adam.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those are the original.
I don't remember. Oh my God, I don't remember.
You
that
remember
at
this
all.
fondly.
I do, because that was a big deal. I'm like, first of all, he delayed the Green Lantern being a thing for another 20 years because not that I ever needed Jon Stewart to be nearly that big.
Oh God, Jesus! Because then you're like, is the power your ring or your muscles? No, I don't even understand.
Jon Stewart should not be as big as Kilowog. It's just not. It's just not a thing. But whatever. I would have accepted it if that was the thing. Wow.
Yeah. So Didge, that's the timeline, bro. That's the timeline. We had Black Adam around the time we had Superman, and not much else.
Insane. I don't remember that at all. I blocked that. Clearly got all.
You want to know why? You want to know why you don't remember it? Because the motherfucker got casted, and then it went hush for this entire time about an actual movie happening.
Oh yeah, he was making other movies at the time, and that it took forever to find a director. And then they got to Shazam. They started doing Shazam before they started really doing Black Adam because he was busy. So they worked on Shazam, and then they're like, "Well, I don't want to be in Shazam. I want to do my own thing first."
That's why in Shazam he was a little. He was like the little hologram thing.
Yeah,
when
they talked about him, and they never actually see him. And look, he was part of the casting for Shazam.
Yes, he was.
So he was part of that process.
Yes, he was. I even remember at that MTV Movie Awards when they were both on stage together selling it. And it was like, oh, bro, like this is going to be so crazy. And then The Rock just woke up one morning and was just like, no, not for me. I want my own. He got his own. I want my own. It's just like, that's not how that should work.
He's like, I want a universe to get Shazam and get Black Adam, and then he's gonna get his sequel, and I might be in the sequel. No, you know what? Make for the third movie. I'll be in the third movie.
Yeah, wait for the third movie.
Which is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it is crazy. And
that's
here
the
we
world we live in.
Black Adam's gonna get pushed to the fucking moon. He's in the Justice League now. He's gonna be in that multiverse.
Yeah, the fact that he's an anti-hero also has me like, oh, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Again, like I said, this is a dicey character to make popular. Yeah. But they're doing it, so we'll see how it pans out. God bless you. All right, just a few more things. This I was very excited about. J.J. Abrams has a Speed Racer live-action TV series in the works at Apple. The project, which sources has received a straight-to-series order at the streamer, hails from writers Hiram Martinez and Ron Fitzgerald. Now, what I like about this is, I've been saying for years that if Apple wants to really be in the game with these streaming services, you need something geeky, like something big geeky. And Speed Racer, if done right, that gets your foot in the door. Because that's no different than for a lot of us. Because remember, a lot of us didn't know who the boys were.
Right.
That was a risk. And that turned out to be a home run. Well, I had no idea who the boys were literally at all.
I didn't know previously.
You start with the boys and Invincible that aren't, the most widely recognizable comic books. And those were both home runs. And now look at where we view Amazon. Now we're talking about Amazon getting fucking God of War and Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So if you're Apple, it only takes Speed
Yeah, God
Racer
of
being
War.
hot. If Speed Racer's hot, you're in there like swimwear. Everyone's gonna be looking at it. Because again,
Well,
Apple can afford it. That's the
Apple's
biggest
getting
thing.
in there because of like Ted Lasso has a hold on.
And
a
that's
lot of
amazing,
people.
but it's not the geek.
Yeah, no, it needs to be geeky. It needs to be geeky.
Fair.
You know, because
need
Amazon
their
had a
own-
lot of good shows. Sneaky Pete, like it had a
They need
lot
co-
of good
they need
shows,
a-
but they
they
needed
need
a big guy.
Like they need a
Okay.
comic IP somewhere.
And
They
look,
don't-
also,
no,
Apple's also working on a Godzilla show about the Monarch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. That's
That could
geeky.
possibly be a tie-in to the Godzilla versus King Kong sequel.
It's supposed to be. I thought
better
they
be.
said it's a continuation of the MonsterVerse.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is awesome.
Okay.
I
There
don't know
you
how they're
go.
gonna do it on TV, but fuck
So
it.
that's
I'm
big.
excited.
Well, I think, Joel, I think what they're going to do is save the actual Godzilla for the movie and just focus on the group Monarch.
I bet there's some fucking kaiju in that bitch.
We might see them developing some kaiju, but Apple would have to shell out some money to make that shit pop. But I'm very excited for Speed Racer. Joel, you excited? Especially J.J. Abrams being involved.
Yeah, always excited.
Motherfucker made me
when
like
JJ
Star
does
Trek.
Right.
So it's like, what can he do?
I'm not a big Star Trek guy, but I like those Star Trek movies, and I know the Trekkies hate it, but I'm not a Trekkie.
Yeah.
But look, I grew up on Speed Racer. I love Speed Racer. So yeah, very excited. Especially if it's anything like the show used to be. And I know the movie was good for its time, but it was very much weird. At least for
I didn't
me.
hate what the Wachowskis did at
I
the
didn't hate it
time.
either.
It made
It's
it at the time it fit, but when you look back, of course, it's not great.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, now it's definitely looked upon more graciously than it was then. But and then look, they were accurate. I mean, the car looked great.
What they could do,
everything was like
what
wow,
it could do, what the car could do.
Visually, it was
Yeah.
fucking insane. Like,
Yeah,
but
they nailed
also
it.
very different than what I was used to. But look, I look forward to seeing their version of Speed. I loved the Mach 5, and like because it had a whole bunch of different features because there was buttons all over the steering wheel, and it had like 9 features. It could do like 9 different things, and it's a racing show, but the fact that it could do whatever it wants, that thing could fucking be underwater, fuck this, that, whatever.
Yep.
That was the most interesting thing. Was that car can do almost anything. So like I'm like very excited to see what the story is gonna be and who's gonna be Speed and all that extra shit. So I mean, I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, I'll be there day one watching that shit. Actually, I'll be looking for screeners. Apple, hit your boy up. Let me get them early screeners. Let me watch it as it's filming. There you go. That's the ultimate.
There
screener.
you go.
That's
There
the
you
ultimate screener. Let me watch them
Bring you on the
as they're
set.
filming.
Just go ahead and be on set.
Fly me out. Fly me out. Fly me out. I want to get flued out. Fly me out, Apple. Didge, are you excited for Speed Racer?
No, I never liked
Really?
Speed Racer.
Really?
I never liked it. Speed Racer used to be the show that when it came on, because it used to always come on Cartoon Network late.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to always like, all right, well, that means it's time for bed. Like,
Damn.
I never could get into it. But I'm gonna check it out. Every time there's a new iteration of Speed Racer, just somehow, some way, I try to watch it just to see if maybe this will be the one that gets me into it. So I'm gonna definitely check it out. But it's not one of those things like I had saw the news about it and I was like, all right, well, okay, and went to the next thing. But I'll watch it to see if maybe this is the one thing that gets me into it.
I tell you what, if JJ can't do it, it can't be done. I tell you that.
Fair.
All right, so Sony has greenlit the sequel for Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Sony also confirmed that 3 game adaptations are in the works. God of War is happening over at Amazon. A series based on Horizon is coming to Netflix.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, and Gran Turismo series is also in the works. Has not yet found a home.
I'm not
But
sure
it is
what
in
the
the
fuck
works.
I don't understand that.
Turismo is going to be about.
Yeah.
Look, you say that, and then I have people that tell me they love Need for Speed, and I think that is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't watch
Like,
it.
there was
movie?
no... Yeah, the movie, not the game.
I didn't watch
They
it. I
love
didn't
Need
watch
for
it.
Speed. I watched that movie, and I remember leaving it going, I've played this fucking game. And at no point did I think this shit was Need for Speed, like ever. At no point was I just like, that's Need for Speed. So I'm like,
Okay.
Gran Turismo is literally, I've played that game religiously. It's literally just cars on a racetrack racing. It's not like
That's all.
a track is like in hell or in
Yeah.
space or some shit. So I'm like, what are you gonna give me? Like a retired
Grand
driver
Tour.
that's brought back to be a driver again? Like, bitch, no. no. So whoever houses that project, God bless you. It'll be money thrown right down the well.
I don't know. I mean, you could get creative. Like, what would that be? I have no idea, because the game is literally just you tuning up a car and driving in tracks all over the world. I mean, but all different types of cars. I'm like, but it's all it's touring. It's not even like at least like Need for Speed Underground. That was all like it was different type of game. You know, like there was kids and all this.
No, I completely get you, but the movie with Aaron, whatever his name is, with whatever his name is from Breaking Bad. I swear to God, that movie felt just like a newer version of Too Fast, Too Furious. That's all that movie was to me.
Interesting.
That's literally all that movie was. I just was just like,
what was the plot?
I don't think I ever watched it. So
I think it was kind of like heisty, to where they were pulling a job on somebody, like something like that. Again, this movie came out forever ago, so I only saw it the one time.
I can't speak to it. I never watched it.
It made 200 million.
I told you people love that fucking movie. I told you that.
Just on the name alone.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But when I tell you, when I hear people talk about that movie, it's never, what was that? It's always, I was waiting for the sequel. And I'm like, what?
Michael Keaton was in it.
Yeah, man. They did some crazy shit in that movie. But again, it didn't hit for me. It just really didn't. Like I said, at no point did I feel like I was watching Need for Speed. I felt like I was watching Fast and Furious's less talented cousin. Please do. And then, you know what I want you to do, Didge? I want you to watch a game trailer for Need for Speed and then watch that movie and tell me.
Well, I've played almost every Need for Speed.
Oh, well, then you're perfect. So you'll be able to perfectly tell me, because I couldn't get a gauge. Like I said, when me and Joel left Sonic, we legit went home, downloaded Sonic. That's what that shit was like. You know what I'm saying? Need for Speed, I left and thought about walking home so I would never step foot in a car. That's how bad that shit was. Like, I don't even like cars. Fuck cars.
Give me a horse and buggy.
Give me something else. Give me a jetpack. I can't do cars. Like, no more cars. I'm done.
I'm not a racing guy. I'm not a car guy. So it's like, for me, it's less interesting than most.
Well, here's the funny thing, Joel. You know me. I'm not into that either. But I'll watch a Fast and Furious. And this is even before what it is today. I'd watch Fast and Furious. That shit, never. You know what I'd be interested in? Burnout. Make Burnout a game. It's just about crashing into shit. Yeah, just about crashing into shit. I would love that. I would freaking love that. Right, yeah. And the whole point is whoever creates the most damage gets this big prize of money or whatever the hell. I'm into that. I'll do that. Gran Turismo, you doing this? Bitch, I don't watch NASCAR as is. And you want me to essentially watch NASCAR with the name Gran Turismo? No, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what this movie's going to be about either.
Yeah, no. So unless they cast Jason Statham, I have no interest. You cast Jason Statham in some shit. I'm watching. I'm fucking watching. All right. Last thing we got here is two more things. I'm sorry, Joel, because we haven't potted in a while. We did get another trailer to Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, we did.
The Umbrella Academy versus the Sparrow Academy. What were your thoughts on that trailer, Joel?
I just want to see the show. At this point, there's been more marketing than I expected. I know it's coming soon. I'm excited. I love that show. I love the source material from the comic, and it is its own thing more or less. But I do appreciate how close they do get to the comic books, because it's a fucking crazy ass show, and I really appreciate that because it's so good. I love Umbrella Academy. So like. I haven't watched much because I'm just ready to watch the show. Right. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like even with Stranger Things, I think I saw one trailer. I didn't really.
I mean, like I said before, at that point, it's one of those things where it's like when you've done more than one season, and I'm still with you. I don't need you to sell me on another season unless I hated the season before. Right. If I've loved everything you've done, you just need to tell me it's coming out, and I'm there. You don't need to really sell me on anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of shows have a strength. is that once you've established yourself for a while now and you're that shit, you don't need to entice me to come there. I'm there. I'm there. If nothing more, just to see the fucking thing end. I'm there. Right? Just that, like, I'm there for that at least, at the minimum. So yeah, I'm with you there. I more so haven't really been paying attention to it because I've mostly been like, the show confuses me. So I feel like if I watch the trailer will give me a false sense of understanding what I'm watching, and then the show will come out, and then I'm just like, nope, it helped me none. I still don't know.
Nope, this is too weird.
Yeah, so I'd rather just jump right in and just go, nope, I'm confused, but hey, at least I jumped right in here, right? I jumped right in. Let it confuse me on its own.
I like it. I love that show so much.
Yeah, me too. I'm
show.
a huge fan for sure. Didge, so going into that, you're excited for this new season too, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer. I know what I'm getting. Well, I won't say I know what I'm getting from the series because, like you said, it is
weird,
confusing and weird. But I'm already sold on it, and so it's just kind of like I think what I'll probably do because it comes out later June, right? Like towards the end of June, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll probably go watch episode 10 from last season, like right before it comes out again. That's usually what I do when stuff that hasn't been out for a while. So watch the last episode of the last season, check it out. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm ready for it to come out. June's gonna be a busy month.
Yeah. I actually was gonna do that with Stranger Things, but they actually gave me a full rundown
recap.
Yeah, so
I
I'm like,
to do
I didn't need to do that.
Things.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was like just about to, like, I already turned it on. I was just about to go like, oh, let me go watch the last episode. And I saw the recap. I'm like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, this is perfect. Really, this is a quick pivot before we get into our last topic, which is about J.J. Abrams. But I want to say this really quickly about Stranger Things. I did a rewatch from season 1 up to this current season, and I finished this current season. One thing that does not get talked about enough is how shitty they treat Caleb's character. And what I mean by that is, season 1, there are 4 friends, right? You only see 3 of those friends' parents. You don't see the one black kid's parents till season 2. Then season 2 comes around. He's hanging out with Max. Her brother sees her hanging out with all 4 of the boys and specifically goes, that one there, that dark motherfucker, you stay away from him, Max. You don't hang out with him. And his reason was just, I don't trust him. And I'm like, what the fuck? I forgot about all this.
I assumed that was just inherent how the 80s was.
I did too. I'm like, that's just
I was like, the 80s, the 80s was probably fucked up like that.
I was like, bro, I'm watching this, and it's like, season 2, stay away from that darky. Season 1, we won't even show his parents. And I'm just like, what am I watching here? Yeah, you do get a sister. And I'm just like, this is some shit.
No, yeah, I just
real shit.
Yeah, like I said, I figured, I was like, well, that's the inherent fucked upness of the 80s.
Okay, as long as I wasn't the only one that peeped that, because I'm rewatching, I'm like, I don't remember any of this, but holy shit. Yeah. Like, this is some shit they doing here. But all right, we'll get into that more when we do our Stranger Things breakdown sometime this week. But all right, our last topic before we get out of here. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaliv? Is that what it is? Zaslav?
What's on Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zaslav.
Okay. Motherfucker. Oof.
Z-A-S. Zaz.
I would have said Zaslav.
Yeah, Zaslav.
I don't know. Zaslav, Molotov, whatever. Anyway,
right.
David is said to be frustrated with J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot after they signed a $250 million deal that has produced very little content. Abrams also has several claimed DC characters, but has yet to do anything with them. Now, I'm going to just say this, David, because you're new to this realm, so maybe you didn't know this, but if anybody on planet Earth can sign a $250 million contract and do nothing, that is the world you live in, David. Everyone would fucking do that. Are you serious? Are you crazy? If my job paid me $250 million, guess what? It's in my bank. Guess what I'm not doing tomorrow? Showing up to work. I'm in fucking Vegas, bro. Are you serious? I'm on an island somewhere. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course I haven't developed shit. Now, meanwhile, J.J. Abrams is producing a Hot Wheels movie. He is producing a Speed Racer movie. J.J. Abrams essentially signed that contract and said, ooh, so I don't want to do this. But I don't know how to tell them I don't want to do it. So I'm going to just work on other things and maybe they'll just kind of catch the drift. And apparently David has caught his said drift. So my question to you, Joel, is do you think this gets rectified and J.J. Abrams starts to begin work on that Superman movie, this Constantine movie, that Zatanna movie? Or do you think this kind of just ends where David just parts ways with J.J. and unfortunately our dark universe gets buried again till we bring on a new person to bring it back to life?
I don't know. That's predicting the future. I have no fucking idea what they're gonna do. I just know that I am also frustrated. Years ago, you said you're gonna do something, and I haven't seen it yet. What the fuck are you doing? That's not what you signed up to do. With
Hot Wheels and Speed Racer. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
He's producing that show. You're producing this shit. Well, why is this? Why is that coming and that's not coming? Like, I don't understand what's taking so long. Like, I don't like it. I don't like being like my shit being posted. I'm 100% with David right now. So whatever the fuck David wants to do, I'm behind him because I'm like, move your ass. What are you doing?
I am curious. I wonder if maybe JJ is a little upset that he might have thought, because remember, Joel, we originally said him doing the Dark Universe was not a J.J. Abrams concept. That was probably 100% Warner Brothers saying, hey, you want to do Superman? We need someone to do our Dark Universe. You're the perfect guy. You do that, we'll let you do that. And then J.J. goes to start to move forward on the Superman project. Now you're hearing from David, nah, there's no Superman. The fuck? I want to bring Superman back. And now it's like, whoa, hold on. We about to have 3 Supermen? Like, all around the same time? So maybe JJ is like, fuck it. I thought I had the exclusivity on Superman. But since I don't, eat a fat one. Keep it your 250 mil. I'm doing nothing. Fuck you, David. That's the only thing I can really think of. Because I'm like, we thought he wanted to do Superman. So I would have thought at least that project would have been further along. This motherfucker's dragging his feet with everything.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, it's been like how long now? Like, the fuck? Like that gift, right? Like, what the fuck? Let's go. What are you doing?
Yeah,
man?
Judge Judy.
Yeah. It's time to go. We need projects, asshole. What are you doing?
You know what? I really do think the main reason why David is upset outside of, being out 250 mil is he probably wanted to roll out some of this news at Fandom this year.
Well, remember, he's also new. He's also new to this role.
Right. Right.
But he's all like, wrong. We're all sitting here.
He's probably walking in. He's probably walking into this like, all right, what we got coming? What the fuck is this?
No, the first thing he did was he walked into the office of whoever handles the money and was just like, all right, what we got going on? And it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at 250 mil. Where is that being given to? And it's just like, oh, we gave that to JJ. All right, cool. What's he working on? Well, he's doing Superman in a dark universe. It's like, all right, beautiful. Where are we on production start?
Any of that.
We haven't heard from JJ since he signed the contract. It's just like, I'm sorry, what?
He saw
answering our calls.
He saw it on the budget line. He was like, hey, I saw 250 to JJ Abrams. This is a joke, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen much.
Is there production start for anything?
What kind of weird ass shit is going on in this company?
It's like, you know what? Call JJ now. Tell him to come meet me in my office. He's not taking our calls, sir.
You know what I like so far about this new guy? So he walked in, he's like, why the fuck are we spending $75 million on the Wonder Twins?
Yes.
What the fuck is that about? Where's Superman? Oh, JJ's doing Superman. When? Where? Like,
when? Ever? Will it see the light of day? Can we know something about it? And it's just like,
where is all this money going? We gave it to Clint Eastwood. For what?
Clint Eastwood wanted to make a movie about a retiring, dying racing horse. What the fuck? Huh? What? No. Allocate all that back. No more. Tell him he doesn't work for us anymore.
Just like throwing up money. I didn't wonder why you needed help. Jesus Christ.
He's like, that's one discovery. I don't have to look into. I know why you guys were
He's
failing.
like, really?
I was
It's
definitely
you just
reading that
writing
article.
blank
He
checks
looks
to Clint
pissed.
Eastwood.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It was
Like
the funniest thing.
everything I read in that article about him just unhappy over anything with their money, he sounded more and more disgusted as I read through it.
100%.
And I'm not, and I, you know what
100%.
it is? I would be upset, but I agree with everything he's saying. It's like,
He's making
what
sense.
are you doing over here?
He's
Why
making
are we
sense.
It makes no sense. You're
Yeah.
throwing away money on shit no one cares about. Use it on shit that's gonna make us money.
David sounds like the guy that went into the zoo business with Joe Exotic. when he first got there, it was just like, Joe, you're spending what on what? Who the fuck needs that, Joe? No more money spending. No more. No more check.
Oh, you're gonna cut your credit
No
card,
more.
bro.
Yes. Everybody, no more. Everyone give me credit cards. No more of that spending. Look,
Zaslav.
I don't disagree with David either. I just find it hilarious because I'm just like, bro, if you give me $250 million, that won't motivate me to do the job. That'll motivate me to go find how I can spend $250 million. You fucking serious? You wouldn't hear from me for a good year or two. Are you serious? I can make what I want.
Quadruple that shit.
Especially they just gave it to him without like saying like, what do you got on like? Give me concrete plans. You don't give me just, oh yeah, I can create this movie. Like, no, show me where you're at with this.
Yeah, give me some concrete.
But
evidence.
again, you know what we have to remember, Didge? This was Warner Brothers when it was just Warner Brothers. This is the same Warner Brothers we told you signed a guy to play a character.
That's true.
We're seeing manifest
Now.
almost a decade later.
That's true.
So it's like
This company just
nothing
doesn't
new.
give a shit about money. It's like
they don't care. You know why, Joel? Because this is why they don't care. Because they'll go, oh my God, guys, we are in the red big time. It's like, what can we do? What can we do? Drop a Batman movie. That always puts us in the green. Drop a Batman movie. We're good to go. We're good to go.
They got lucky on a couple movies, like with Joker in them, and they're like, "Oh, well, we made money off of this show. Well, we could do that with all the movies."
They were like, "Whoa,
smart about it."
Joker really shocked, and they were like, "Box office success. We love that. Oscar nomination."
They were in the office like, "Oh my God, we did it! We did it!
We did it!" It's like, let's do something reckless. Like what? Let's give J.J. Abrams $250 million to do whatever the fuck he wants. Let's just do it. Why not? It's a whim. Do it. Sign him.
He'll come up with something great.
He'll do it. No one's worried. Meanwhile, JJ was just like, did the check clear?
Called his accountant like, wait a minute.
Oh, he's like, hey, did they ask about when am I starting? No. Bitch, I got this Hot Wheels project I've been dreaming about. And Speed Racer. Let me go attend to that real quick. Joel's sitting there like, I can't get Constantine because you want to do Hot Wheels. All right, JJ. Yeah, okay. All right, you think you slick?
Oh my God.
But here's to hoping that we get some news at Fandom because I at least want that Zatanna movie. At least want that Zatanna.
I want Constantine. I want the Justice League I was promised.
100%. But if there's a project he can move forward on first, I want it to be Zatanna. I really do. I want her to get her big screen glory.
That would be great.
We know Constantine right now is just like a cult classic. Like no matter what you do with Constantine, people will go there for Constantine. But Zatanna needs a little bit more love. I love what Young Justice is doing with her, but she could always use a little bit more TLC. You know what I'm saying? So if you can give it to her, let's give it to the girl. All right, let's give it to the girl. But all right, that's pretty much all we got. Not a whole bunch else going on. We did want to say rest in peace to Ray Liotta. That one definitely hurt. That one was a big shocker.
Yep.
Obviously, no one ever sees these things coming, but that was definitely like I swear to God, he was just in a movie like yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Filming a movie.
Yeah,
That's
he was
even
filming a
worse.
movie while he died. Sadly.
That is a swift kick to the balls. It really is.
Yeah.
But Ray Liotta, we were all big fans of you. Gangster movies could have never truly been what they were without you. Goodfellas was a pillar. That was a pillar in gangster movies.
Goodfellas is my favorite gangster movie.
It's definitely in my top 5, 100%, 1,000%. I never liked that more than I did Casino. That was my biggest issue.
I definitely liked it more.
I liked it more than I liked Casino.
Yeah, Casino is fucking all time fucking just like, Pierre Resistance. But Where's the Money, Karen is always as iconic to me. You did what? You flushed it? Fucking love that scene. Fucking love that scene. Ray Liotta was a god. We love you, Ray Liotta. Rest in power. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing is Kathleen Kennedy has said that whenever Donald Glover wants to do Lando, she'll let him. And this is why I said Kathleen Kennedy shouldn't be a part of continuity conversations, because she literally just said, if we could just use the original people, we'll just use the original people, or we'll use CGI. We're not going to get new people. I don't recall Donald Glover being in the 1980s Star Wars movies, so that's pretty confusing. That's just your way of saying we don't want to use the same actor for
for Solo.
For Solo, right? For Han. That's essentially all you're saying. That's literally it. Because I'm watching a whole nother actor do the motion for Luke Skywalker, and you just putting a lot of Mark Hamill's facial features onto him. So I'm like, even that is still not just fluidly just Mark Hamill. Right. So you're essentially just saying he fucked up. we don't want to use him again.
Maybe
so
he did something behind the scenes.
All I'm saying is I watch that movie whenever I can, and I love everything about that movie.
Same. I love
him
him.
included.
I liked him in it. I thought it was good. So
I did too. Because to me, it's like, all right, bro. It's like if you get someone to do something Al Pacino did. Of course, this guy isn't Al Pacino. Who would be? You know what I'm saying? But the question should be, was he good for the script he was given? And my answer to that would be yes. I don't think, in my opinion, if you put Harrison Ford in that role, it doesn't make it any better or any worse than what it was. I love the movie.
Yeah, I think Solo is very underrated for sure.
I agree.
For sure, yeah.
I agree. So her saying that 100% is her way of just saying, fuck that guy that was Solo. We don't want to use him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe something happened on set that maybe he was a nightmare on set. I don't know. That's weird.
Maybe. Look, to be fair, the fan reaction to him is not positive from a lot of Star Wars fans. It's Harrison Ford or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
right.
They don't like change.
Yeah. I'm not the world's biggest Han Solo fan. So I'm like, as long as the movie was good, that's really all I cared about. Really was. Sorry.
That's fair. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm the same. Like Han Solo's great. He's cool, but it's like it wasn't a oh my god make or break Han Solo. Like, all right.
Bruh, if you ask me today, Din Djarin or Han Solo, you fucking think I'm picking Han Solo any day of this week?
Right.
Not one day of the week. Not one.
Right.
Not one. So it's like
there's a lot of characters you could say Han Solo or this character, and I'm all right.
I'm going the other side, right? I'm not going Han Solo. So for me, when he was casted, I didn't go, oh no, only Harrison Ford can do this. I 100% went, I don't give a fuck about this character. So whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do to make the movie good?
I'm gonna be honest.
And he made the movie good.
When he got casted, and that was I heard about his casting at the same time I heard about Donald Glover's casting.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh, Donald Glover, all right.
100%.
Didn't even think anything about his.
Oh man, yeah. So to me, I don't really care. To me, like I said, my love usually comes for the character, not the actor.
Not the actor.
It's why I'm willing to shuffle the deck. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
I was one of the leading people like, don't keep using old ass Mark Hamill. Just give the job to Sebastian Stan and call it a fucking day. Right?
I still would love for him to
I'm very much of let's just move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Especially if you're gonna keep recycling Luke.
Yeah.
You know, don't make it so hard. You know what I'm saying? And again, Sebastian Stan, last time I checked, isn't Robert fucking De Niro. So it's not like you're breaking the bank to bring Sebastian Stan in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure he said he wanted to do it if he had the chance.
He said if they asked him, of course he would do it. Even Mark Hamill said, why haven't we asked him to do it? Like, he looks just like me. Spit an image. So for me, let's move on. I love the character more than I do the actor. Right? It's why I'm not still sitting here like, man, but Ben Affleck. No, man, it's Robert Pattinson's world. I'm just living in it now.
Right.
Like, I've moved on. I'm
I
gone.
get it.
I've passed it.
I easily get it.
You know? So for me, I'm just waiting to see how it all plays out. But guys, make sure you guys check us out tomorrow night live for G. Oh, you got two more, Joel? Yeah, what you got?
Real quick before I know
what
it's
you got?
late. But,
What you got?
I wanted to at least, because I don't think we got to talk about it at all. Was them finally announcing, at least not on this show, Daredevil.
Oh shoot! No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yep.
And I also want to talk a little bit about the our first looks at the Blue Beetle costume because.
Oh shit! God damn! Jesus Christmas! That's why I said Star Wars consumed my life, Joel. Yes, Daredevil did get confirmed. We got writers. No date on when to expect the show to come out, but if they already have writers, it's made to believe no later than end of next year, beginning of the year after. Excuse me. Because it's a series and it's a pretty low budgeted series, so it's not like they got to be shooting for like 67 weeks. Like, it should be a relatively
shouldn't cost too much.
Right. You shouldn't come out of that like, man, we had to spend as much time and money as we did as Moon Knight. Like, I'm sorry, why? Why?
You really have probably less episodes, and the only thing that might cost you money. What?
Daredevil in space. That's why.
Right. That's where we're going.
Space Devil. Jesus Christ.
But what were you saying? The most money would be what, Joel?
I'm not even sure what they would spend the most money on, because the only thing I think I would want to see an upgrade over is the costume. Like,
but that's not a lot of money. So the most money they would spend is location.
Yeah. Location shoot, especially if they're gonna shoot in New York, because that's expensive. Fuck.
Yeah, that'd be location. But I'm very excited. And look, Echo is still in the middle of filming. We haven't heard yes or no about Kingpin or Daredevil in that.
That's right.
Rumors are starting to ramp up a lot more than they were before about Daredevil possibly being in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Let alone Jessica Jones possibly being in She-Hulk.
Something happened with her. I don't know if she posted something.
Yes.
Okay. About, because it was basically more rumors are getting hotter about that's coming back too.
Yeah, she posted a picture of her and Mike Coulter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then put like LC plus whatever.
Yeah.
They were just out. They're just some regular closeout. They so happened to be together that day. So we never know.
Right.
The conversations are being had.
As I try to tell Trayvon, I try not to put expectations on things like that. It puts you in a dark place.
It can.
Because then if we get through this whole year and nothing's mentioned about it, it's just like, damn, so they really were just walking together. Like,
they really did just happen to see each other.
She's going to be in an episode of Evil. You're like, well, that's what it was.
That's what it was. I knew it, which, by the way, I can't fucking wait.
That's
2 weeks.
Soon too.
2 weeks. Oh, can't wait for that. All right, Didge. No, Joel. Sorry. How hyped are you? Daredevil's back officially, getting his own show.
Super hype, bro. Like, we went from like maybe getting Matt Murdock in Daredevil, possibly in the Spider-Man movie, where he shows up and like I'm like everyone that knew who the fuck he was freaked out.
Our theater went crazy.
Oh yeah, our theater was
same.
like, holy! I've made people watch that show before the movie just in case.
Bruh, I remember me and Joel were sitting there just like, no, we're glad you guys enjoy it, but we have no idea what he just said to Peter. Like, we missed all of that. Thank you.
Like, we watched that scene because I'm like, I don't remember any dialogue going on.
I thought it was just the crowd yelling for the dialogue. I had no idea people were talking. Like, goodness gracious. But what else are you excited for with this series, Joel?
I'm just now it's just like questions, like, all right, because now you're just gonna compare it to what we had before, and that's arguably one of the best superhero series ever, right? In my opinion, one of the best ever. So like Daredevil, you have a lot to compete with, but like honestly, even if it's like a little bit worse and I get a great suit, it might be worth it. Like, it's I don't know. I just don't know what they can do that can, obviously they probably won't be able to be as gritty in terms of like blood and gore and that, but I don't really need it as much as I just, if you can like match the fucking choreography that we got in those shows, because those shows choreography was amazing, you're gonna hit, man. And if you give me a better suit and more accurate aspects that it's definitely more connected to the MCU, You're fucking. I've been sold, but like, bro, I'm there. I'm always gonna be there. And Daredevil is one of my favorite characters, so like, I am super excited.
I was telling Trayvon, I have literally no reservations about what they're gonna do, mainly because here's the worst thing that they could do, right? Remember the scene where Kingpin is slamming that guy's head in the door? Where now that would just be a cutaway, right? So it wouldn't show it. It would like the camera would pan up and you would just hear it. Like you would hear the screams and like the door. I don't need to see it. Like reserve that for my horror movies where they do all that really gory shit. I don't need that. You know, even the scene I told Trayvon, the scene where Matt in the black suit in the final season is just beating the shit out of Kingpin. Where he's telling him to you know leave Foggy.
Bloody fist.
Yeah, you don't legit see his face going like that, but you see the punches and his fist just getting bloodier and bloodier. Yeah. So I'm like, that's another way Marvel can work around that to where you're not seeing it, but you're. And I told him, I said, Trayvon, here's the biggest reason why if they quote unquote nerf Daredevil, it's not a problem. I just saw a Batman movie where I don't even know what part of the body this motherfucker punched the guy.
That was a perfect way to point it.
And the importance of that scene was you just needed to hear it. Yeah, you didn't see anything. That's what I'm saying. You don't even know where he punched him. Chest, throat, face, ears. You don't know where. But it doesn't matter. The impact hit you because you heard it. So to me, there is no way to nerf Daredevil, right? You're not making it PG. If you're going from rated R to PG-13, I've seen PG-13 movies that push the edge, that are gritty, right? They're not like Saw cutting your arm off, but they're pretty gory.
Daredevil isn't Punisher, where I need
Thank you. Unfortunately, the Marvel Netflix universe made all 4 of those characters, or 5 of those characters, I think it's 5, so dark and gritty that everyone believes they live within the same world. And it's the same thing, Joel, we've been trying to tell people about the DC universe, where people are like, I don't understand how like a Superman would fit in Batman's world. You don't connect the dot that way. That's where your problem lies. You don't connect the dot that way.
You don't bring Superman to Batman world.
You don't bring Superman.
You bring them to a meeting point where they can connect, where it's just
a mutual ground. Right, exactly. So I look at Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, and all of those characters should not be exactly like Punisher.
No.
Right? So if they're all as violent, you then go, well, then what's the difference of these characters? So you got to kind of make it to where, and look, where Daredevil left off, he was a way less aggressive human being than he was before. Right. So you should be making it a little bit more lighter. Danny Rand, that's not a super violent guy. That's a guy that screams peace. And you want Kevin Feige to make it so Iron Fist is punching someone's throat out of the back of their neck? This is a Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Jessica Jones started to find her peace. So she's not going to be throwing people off buildings or anything crazy like that. So again, these characters aren't meant to be super dark. It just so happened to be they built a universe that just all looked the same. And that's what we always say.
In the same, pretty much the same part of town.
Right. And that's what we always say you shouldn't do, because when you box the characters in like that, it kind of nerfs the people's ideology of how these characters are separate, how they're different, right? So that's why I'm saying you got to kind of make it so that each individual person stands out for their own individuality. And the best way to do that is they can't all be punching people's hearts out of their chest. Okay, there can't be a fatality.
Not all murderers.
Right.
Punisher is different.
Right. Punisher is where you can go, okay, well, what is Kevin going to do with that? Sure. But everybody else should be.
Punisher's different. Punisher, Deadpool, characters like that you question, but not Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones.
No, especially not Iron Fist. The man screams meditation, and you're like, nah, you don't want to pull his chest out and scream Kale Ma? No, like what, that's not Iron Fist.
Kung Fu fighting show. That's
it. All right. How do you view this, Didge? How excited are you for this Daredevil series?
I'm excited, but I'm a little weary because their same writers aren't coming back, which could be a good thing.
Again, none of the same writers ever came back.
True. But I mean, it would have been great to have them back, and I get it. They're on Echo now. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm sure if the new writers, if they really wanted to, they can be like, hey, look, give us some, some notes or whatever, make sure we're at least.
I believe that those two shows will cross-pollinate. That's why I believe it's not far off that they're probably working together on some aspects of both.
Right. So like, there's that. So more importantly, though, I'm just excited to have it back. Like, I hope this is just a sign to come for all of the Netflix, Disney shows.
Right. I am a little sad though. I was hoping it would be a movie because I did want the title "Man Without Fear." I wanted that title like desperately, and for like a show, we know it doesn't really work like that. Like it's just season 2, season 3.
Yeah, we'll see how far it goes. Does it just have one season in a movie, or does it multiple?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
If it's multiple seasons, they don't usually give names for it. It's usually just whatever the
season 1.
title.
Right, I mean, like, do they get a spin-off film or something like that?
Oh yeah, if they do that, because I'm like, I love that name, Man Without Fear.
Yeah,
like I want to see that somewhere. Yeah, I want to see that somewhere. So that was my only like, kind of wish you were a movie, but again, I'm just glad to have him back. Fuck it, glad to have him back.
Very happy, very very happy.
All right, so Joel, I always fuck up his name. Is it Sholo? How do you pronounce his name? That's Blue Beetle. Solo. Okay.
Zolo.
Okay. We got
I believe.
We got some set photos and a little bit of set video of Blue Beetle in his comic accurate suit. And when I say comic accurate, I don't mean like it just so happens to look like it. I mean, that's that motherfucker ripped out of the comic books. And here's the crazy part. All that shit that looks like a suit is going to look so much better when technology gets its hands on it. We haven't even seen it completed. We've just seen
with the CGI aspects.
Right. We've just seen what it looks like with their
That's
filming.
just behind the scenes.
And behind the scenes looks spot on. So it's like, well, if that looks spot on, when you get the CGI and shit working, oh my God. Joel, how beautiful did this suit look?
I fucking had a panic attack when I first saw it. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? That's not it, is it? Because that looks fake good. That's like, someone edited it. Like,
yep.
I'm like, that looks fucking amazing. And they saw him with the mask on. I'm like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of cosplay bullshit is this? Awesome. I fucking freaked out. I sent you the pictures. I was like, this is insane. I was like, wow, that looks so good. One of the best costumes, like comic accurate costumes I've ever seen in live action. I was like, God damn, that's nice.
Hell yes. I'm completely with you. And I think the thing that excites me the most as I pass it to you, Didge, is guess what's great about seeing these set photos right now? We're in June. Well, we're about to be in June. That means by Fandom, we'll have a fucking full-length trailer. I'm not physically or emotionally ready for any of that shit. Like, Joel knows how much I love Blue Beetle, or Jaime specifically. And this is just a dream come true. Because we've been preaching for the longest that, hey, if you wanted to do a Justice League with a person of color, should have been Blue Beetle, not Cyborg, part of that team.
I've been banging that drum for a long time. I'm like, should have been Blue Beetle, not Cyborg.
Should have been. And
it never took Cyborg off the Titans.
It would have been just as popular as they thought Cyborg was, which I don't really think that
would have probably met the same criteria.
100%. And it just would have visually been cooler. Sorry. Scarab's cooler. But Didge, what are your thoughts on these set photos?
Bro, it looks great. Like Joel said, I definitely thought when I first saw it, I was like, oh, the costume must not be that great. They already photoshopped it. Because like even the tweet that I saw with it, it was like it almost read tongue in cheek, and it was like, because it just said Blue Beetle looks like he jumped off the comic book, like jumped off the comic pages. So I was like, it must be that bad that they photoshopped it and doing their whole tongue in cheek thing. Then I just kept scrolling and seeing more and more people sharing. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is amazing. And so I'm excited. Like, I think, like you said, it's June basically, and we're seeing this. Fandom's gonna be great because we should get some greatness, and that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good to see.
Because here's the thing: if you're Fandom, there are two things you're leading Fandom with, and it's the two things I never thought would lead a fandom. You're leading it with Batgirl, and you're leading it with Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, think about that. That's bonkers.
Led by two Hispanic actors.
Yes.
Insane.
Insane. Joel's been preaching for the longest.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
I've only been waiting for this day. Like, and DC's like, you know what? DC's like, you know what, Joel? Marvel don't got you. Star Wars don't got you. We got you, Joel. We got you.
They're trying. I mean, Star Wars is doing it. Marvel is doing it now, but now DC's doing it. So like, it took them forever, but all three are like, well, we got to one up each other. So let's all do it at the same time.
They 100%. You would have thought that, especially Marvel, you would have thought right after Black Panther came out, they were like,
word.
Met our quota. We're good. And they were just like, you want Hispanic? Fuck. Who can we utilize? Like, where can we go? And DC's like, oh, they said Hispanic? Jaime, Blue Beetle. Front of the bus. Put them at the front. Oh, hold on. That's not enough? Let's jazz this up. You like Batgirl? I like Batgirl too. Hispanic. Let's go. Throw it in there. Do it. Let's do it.
Namor's going to be Hispanic.
Right, and Marvel's like, you know, fucking one up me. Everybody knows Namor. Namor's Hispanic. Take that, bitch. It's like America Chavez. Yep. Marvel was just like, oh, bitch, you will not get ahead of this before me. I don't think so. America Chavez, where are you? America Chavez, where are you? Come here. I'm gonna make this movie.
I always thought they would make Namor an Asian, but they went Hispanic. I'm like, okay.
Well, remember, there was a time where we thought it would be The Rock.
I never wanted to do
I
that.
never once thought it would be.
That man would have been ginormous. So like,
everybody was thinking it was gonna be Keanu for a while. Remember?
Again,
I don't know why that. I'm like, Keanu to me always screamed either Silver Surfer or Ghost Rider.
Still like Silver Surfer. I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, that to me always fit because the voice just nails it for him.
Yeah.
And you're not really asking Keanu Reeves to do much.
You got the attitude right there.
Yeah, 100%. Where he's just chill, like, I'm just here to destroy Earth, bro. And it's like, you know what? I'm with you. It's like, wait, hold on, no.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Man.
Yeah, so I appreciate this renaissance of bringing in other races. You know what I'm saying, and putting them in the forefront.
We were just talking about Star Wars. Andor's Hispanic.
Yes, he is
Hispanic.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm loving it. This is the time. We just got Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, just
you know what I'm saying?
We got an Asian-led movie.
Yep. Miss Marvel is next week. Yep. We got a Pakistani show. Yep. Character. We're gonna get a lot of diversity, much needed. So it's we are. Yes, it are. Because man, when there's no diversity, man, does it get stale out here? Like real stale.
I mean, it's nothing we're not used to, but like, bro, like it's really.
That's the problem. That's why it's stale. it's when you're used. Picture coming home to the same meal 365. You're just like, all right. I'm gonna throw up if I look at this shit again. Like, you gotta put a scoop of mashed potatoes or something else on this motherfucker. Like, come on now. So I appreciate it.
Now it's even noticeable. Like when they don't do it, it's like, oh, it seems wrong.
Yeah. Like, were you trying to be racist? Why is it gotta be racist? Because there is literally no color here.
How many white people are in this? Like, there's some shows I watch right now, and I'm like, I think I saw one black person. like they're older shows, you know what I mean? So, but still, like, how do you get away with that? Like
Joel, my argument for the longest when, you know, the butthurt people were like, I don't understand, there's only like 1 or 2 white people in Black Panther. How is that fair? And I'm like, bitch, I just watched Godfather 1 and 2, and there were 0 black people. 0. Not 1 or 2. 0. I watched Jaws. Ask me how many black people was in the first Jaws. 0. 0. I'm sure if I rewatch E.T., there would be 0. It's just how it was back then. It was just black. What? No. We don't got the lighting for that shit.
And if you were, like, sometimes they would do that. They blackface. Like what was it? Alien? Where the Hispanic girl was white girl?
Yes. Yep.
The fuck was that?
Yep.
Hollywood for a lot of years.
Yep. Look, I still to this day say I lost a really good friend because of fucking Al Pacino. Fucking thought that's how Cubans sounded.
Huh?
Like I would see my Cuban friend, I'm like, oh, and he was like, Juwaan, you gotta stop doing that. Nobody sounds like that. I'm like, I just watch Al Pacino do that shit. You mean no one? Man, I met his family, and can I tell you, not a soul even
Single one.
remotely sounded like anything like Al Pacino and Scarface. So it was an eye opener of, you gotta switch this shit up, man. Like you gotta put some diversity in here so we can get the proper explanations of what that said race is like and would do. Damn, did I not walk around? Okay. Like, okay, no one sounds like that. No, okay, all right. But was that everything, Joel?
Basically, yeah. I mean, maybe other little shit, but nothing we can't say for another time.
All right. So we'll definitely circle back. We'll do our Stranger Things at some point. Didge is still 3 episodes off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many?
I'm like 5. I'm on 5 or 6 right now.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. So when you guys finish is when I'll find the time to do that Stranger Thing pod, because I think Jayla already finished. So I'm just waiting for a good time to kind of bring everyone.
I didn't
together.
watch anything Saturday or Sunday, so
I should have it finished. I'll definitely have it finished this week. Obviously, I have to have it finished. We're gonna talk about it in our podcast. So
okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
I'm hopefully done by the middle of the week. If I'm lucky.
right.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, because look, we gotta get Stranger Things done and podcasted for, because The Boys is this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like The Boys will have to be broken down next week, and then next week, guess what? Kenobi and Miss Marvel. That shit will need to get broken
with
down.
The Boys. At least luckily with The Boys, after this week, it's going weekly, so it's gonna have the 3 episodes Friday.
That's where the nut puncher is. It's all 3 episodes in one day.
True.
So it's like I gotta get with the people I know that watched all 3. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, I was just telling Deuces that I'm like, June is so fucking busy of just
it's ridiculously
stuff to
busy.
watch.
And then when you think you got a deep breath, right when June ends, like the week or week and a half, it's Thor, and it's
Thor.
Like,
Yeah.
I got to get right back into the rotation of that shit.
So excited.
Right back. But all right, guys. Shout out to Didge for joining us, man. Definitely
It was fun.
Definitely love
definitely.
having
Thanks
you
for
on
having
this.
me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm glad I got the pod again with Joel, my brother. We will be back together to do GVN Sports tomorrow. We got so much just basketball. There'll probably be no football.
Oh,
Bro,
for sure.
Just
I will
basketball.
definitely be talking at least a little bit hockey. The Rangers did it again. That's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't even know that was still. Oh my God, it's on right on my television right now. I didn't even know that was still a thing. I thought that was over already. I thought they won it all.
I wish they did. You think I wanted to say something?
So they're gonna play Tampa.
I think you would have known that I
They're
had
gonna
no
be
interest
playing
in
Tampa. That's exactly right.
All right, well, shit, yeah, we'll definitely squeeze that in. We'll maybe start with that so it doesn't get lost. No, because once we get deep into basketball, I'll get lost, and Joel will be like, all right, well, wait, hold on. So we'll maybe start with that. Just remind me, Joel. But stay tuned.
We're gonna keep calling it sports. We're gonna have other sports.
I'm open to it. I'm just saying I want to start so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle.
I'll think of a baseball topic that we could talk for 5 minutes.
Bitch, I'll talk about the Mets on fire right now. Are you serious? Come on now. I got baseball to talk about.
The Brewers are doing pretty okay. I think we're still leading the Central.
I think our records are applicable.
I think so.
Yeah. But all right, and Wednesday we will be doing Galactic Review for Kenobi, breaking down episode 3 of Kenobi. And then, like I said, The Boys is this weekend, so we won't have anything out this weekend for The Boys. It'll be the following week. I need to give everyone the weekend to actually see the 3 episodes before we go into breaking it down. But we got a lot, man, in these next few weeks. We got too much. So stay with us, stay tuned, and we promise we got a lot to break down, guys. But till then, peace.